man, dude, I love the setup.
Thanks.
Yeah, it took a little work.
Yeah, especially once we got the camera, like, shit, now we need another wall, and now we need to do this and that, but put it together. All right, let's see here. Everybody's good.
Let me know if I'm like chewing on the mic or you can hear me drinking and stuff.
It's all right. They always talk shit on my mic. I start the podcast with the mic in the right place, and by the end, it's not worse.
Ed, how do I sound? Good?
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Yeah. Listen,
our podcast is a lot
you guys
better.
definitely need to come out tonight to that.
German.
Yeah, send me the address after the
20,
podcast.
It's on Lakewood,
20 bucks. Right? Yeah, it's like 20 bucks, but free booze, free food.
Oh, well, see, that makes a difference. Free booze.
Yeah. Dude, I got my Stein in the car.
So
I'm ready to go.
You need to lead.
He said, I got my Stein. I got my Viking horn in the car.
You need to understand. Like, chances are, if I'm inviting you someplace, there's booze involved. I'm not going to invite you be like, hey, come with me over here. Like, no. I don't want you here. I'm not going to invite you to my house. I don't have enough booze in my house.
Yeah. Oh, shit. All right. Let's do it, because I know Alexis is hungry. We'll order
No,
food
you're good,
after.
dude. Dude, I'm good. I'm good. I honestly, I made nothing but time for you guys.
Why can't we?
today,
Yeah,
so
why
I'm
can't
here
we? We can order a pizza on air. We can do that.
Yeah, and then when they knock on the door and the dogs start going crazy.
all day. Okay, take a pause.
We'll roll with it. We'll roll with it.
Yeah, sure. There's no one to answer at the door.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Sofa Kingdom Podcast with your host, Nelson,
Ian,
Ed.
and our special guest joining us here at the studio.
I didn't know if I was part of the chain. Like, dude, I'm so thrown off.
No,
right
it's
now.
all good.
It's usually me doing that, so it's like, oh, shut up. Alex, cheers.
No stress.
All right, man. It's all good. Welcome here to the studio with us. We usually like to get started by discussing things that, have affected us during the week, either playing a game or watching a movie or something. And I'll let Ed start it off.
Sure. So I'm going to start with something in the computer world and technology world. Planned obsolescence.
What?
Yes.
I honestly thought that you were going to lead with OnlyFans.
Well, that's a whole separate thing, man. How dare you get rid of porn on OnlyFans? That's the only reason for that.
It's a cover-up.
They lost all their business.
Oh, man.
But planned obsolescence, it's designing
I'm still on there.
something so that it fails after a certain amount of time, essentially to force people to buy another newer one. This has always been a thing. We've had issues with iPhone and Apple where they've had class action lawsuits. But in the computer world now, in the already built PCs, it's starting to become not just designing it where it's going to fail after a few years. They're also now designing it to the point where you're not getting what they're putting on the side of the box. And then you can't even upgrade it properly because they're taking away your abilities to actually upgrade the components inside.
But this only affects people that know how to fix and build shit.
Well,
no, I mean, he's right. Like, it's a serious thing because I forget what the law rule, whatever. It's like the memory doubles every time.
Yes.
So everything is going to constantly, like, the amount of time it takes for something to double in capacity gets shorter while the size gets bigger. And then at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is the materials themselves.
Yes.
They can't get the actual materials themselves fast enough or enough to create everything.
Yeah.
Which is what's happening with, like, the Xbox and the PlayStation shortages.
Yeah, they're hitting a wall with what's being called now legacy components. It's things that are in all electronics, Ethernet ports, Bluetooth chips, capacitors. It's all these things that everything shares. That's why you'll see there's issues with car manufacturing, consoles, computer. It's across the board.
My vacuum needs Bluetooth because I need to play my songs off of it.
Yeah, it's like it's the thing that people aren't getting. Like that's like it's the statement that you're making. It sounds so just like simple, but it's something that has such a complex it's like issue with it because it goes all the way down from just getting the legacy stuff to stay around long enough, but you're talking about supply lines.
Yes.
You're going all the way down to digging for the materials. Like that's how big of like an issue that is.
At a certain point, you start getting into conflict minerals. That's a whole separate.
Bro, this is way too serious.
It's a whole separate discussion. Yeah.
Wow. I thought that was something serious.
Damn. All right.
Now we're invading countries for lithium.
thought we were going
lithium,
Alex
cobalt,
Jones
nickel,
on this.
copper. It's a handful of things.
We're going back to Afghanistan.
I didn't realize this was
Way
fucking...
to bring down the mood of the room. Jesus Christ.
10 minutes ago, I was talking about how Superman's got a bigger dick than Batman. Now we're going Forbes 500. All right. I'm here. I'm here to ride this train.
So we had an old computer we were doing everything off of. For your most household stuff, it didn't matter. 10 years old, irrelevant. Yeah. But it lasted 10 years because it had standard components inside. When we needed more power, no problem. Changed out the power supply, put in a graphics card, added RAM. These are all plug-and-play components. They only fit one spot on the motherboard. They're actually incredibly easy to install, even for a novice. It's not that difficult. So what they're doing now, though, is, and we have our nice new little PC over here. I had picked it up particularly for the chip inside. About a year ago is when that computer came out. It has one of AMD's, at least at the time, it was its most powerful APU. So it's a processor with graphics cores built into it at the same time. And it has a couple of things that make it actually function properly. It really wants faster RAM. It wants it to be dual channel. And in particular, with AMD, all of their stuff comes unlocked. They've designed it into their motherboards where you click one little button and automatically it'll allow it to boost continuously as long as the cooling is there. So in that little box was, like I said, the most powerful a year ago APU you can buy, and you could not buy it off the shelf. When they first released it, it was only the third-party companies. But all these companies were doing one of two things. Either forcing you to buy an unnecessary graphics card, because it has graphics cores built into it, and that's not what you're using this chip for, or they would completely hobble it. So
wait,
that's a great
the graphics card is what you need to see the photos better on OnlyFans.
The graphics... If you want to watch those videos in high def, it might help.
I mean, is there any other way to watch them?
Are you trying to live your life, or are we just gonna fuck around here? Like, I thought we were gonna do this. No, but it's like from someone who does photo and video editing like exclusively. Like that's what I made my living off of. It's one of those things where you have to put in the investment in yourself. If you're a gamer, if you're a legit gamer, you have to put in the money on the independent like units, sure, like the different components. But what you were trying to do is what you really wanted was to get that APU,
yes,
and then create a Frankenstein PC.
Yes, because all we needed was a competent basic video editor. Right. We just needed something with enough cores that was powerful enough to just do basic video editing. Right. We're not doing anything crazy. We don't got anything 4K. We're talking heads. We just need a clean 1080p.
Excuse me, sir. I am more than a talking head.
In terms of the type of video.
Right.
So inside what they're doing, and this is in particular HP and a lot of these companies that they're doing the pre-builts, they designed it inside where you not only can't get the power that it's supposed to have, you're not getting what's on the side of the box. So you're not just missing out on what the processor can do. You're completely not even getting what's advertised to you. So they put a single stick of RAM instead of dual. And it's AMD. It wants dual channel. It wants faster. It's a proprietary motherboard, which doesn't have your standard power connector. And they won't sell you a stronger power connector until you prove you've purchased a different computer with that power supply.
Really?
If you go through their customer service, because they make a 4-pin power supply just for their shit. See, you understand.
So it's proprietary like connections.
So they won't even try to let you buy a stronger power supply for you to upgrade it. So you have on the motherboard, like every motherboard, all the slots to add all the stuff to upgrade it, and they're unusable because the power supply they put in isn't enough power to run if you were to put something in it.
You know what?
Sheesh.
This shit is depressing. Ian, how about you?
Well, no. But here's the thing. Like,
it gets even worse. There's more.
No. We don't need more.
That
shit was depressing.
But here's the thing. Like, the reason why they're doing all that stuff is the same approach that you had. People are going extra, and it can't. Like, dude, that's like super technical. You got to get like super geeky on it. When like the 3070 and the 3080 came out, and then like it's impossible to get. The only way you could get it is if you were buying one of the Alienware PCs. So people were buying up in stock, then gutting it, and then whatever else they want to do with the power.
This PC is a meme online on YouTube. All of the creators that build online, they were buying this and showing you how bad of a job they did in putting this thing out and what it can. I mean, you take the chip out, you put it on a proper motherboard, and you double its power.
Damn.
You don't get what they advertise on the box.
Yeah, that's the part that has me hung up. How in the hell are you purchasing something that's got what it supposedly has on the side of it? I mean, in what other industry can you do that? Can you say hey,
cars?
But it's because people don't know better, right?
Well, but it's false advertising. Yeah. Literally, it's a 65-watt processor. They put a 45-watt cooling solution on it. Damn. So when the processor actually
you're
runs,
going too deep though. People aren't gonna fucking know that.
Yeah, but it's a simple fact of when you turn it on and you start doing something, it doesn't go the speed it's supposed to. It can't. It physically cannot go its actual speed.
You know what else is false advertisement? GTA 5.
Son of a bitch.
Right? Because you think that there's going to be a GTA 6, but the motherfuckers keep adding to the game.
No, 2025?
Yeah, well, 2025 is when they're going to come out. But, like, they're doing the same thing with Skyrim, right?
Supposedly.
If they keep making money, they're not putting out a number 6.
Bro, are you kidding me?
I mean, you can't blame them. And the game has survived this long because people are playing it, right? And it's the same thing with Skyrim, which is what I was going to jump into. Is that
we're looking at you,
Dude, he's cutting you off so hard. Like, that is the most... He wants to just scream out on this podcast. Shut the fuck up. I don't care what you have to say.
No.
Introducing you first was merely a formality. It was really like you got invited to the party, like the sympathy invite. Tell me what you think. I don't care.
I think I didn't get to explain that it was $60 and it took that computer and made it actually functional.
Listen, GTA 5 was $60.
If you want to do a separate segment after this podcast, I'm there for you, bro. Because whatever it is, I can tell you got a vent on it.
Listen, I said
I don't give a shit.
This is all.
Listen, man, I'm here for comedic
me
relief,
setting it up.
No, listen, I'm 100% for it. But yeah, that's
the backbone. He's the
That's
backbone.
like you can do like a full on podcast on that alone for sure.
No, and it is wrong that they are allowed to get away with doing these things because the basic consumer, like me, like myself, if I bought the computer, I'm gonna assume that everything is there and it's functioning the way that it should.
No, but you don't.
I would have no idea.
Yeah, people don't fucking know better. The whole idea is the same way like you get with like trash cars now. Like if you did everything right, it's gonna last you 10 years. But they know that because we just said it. We both had PCs that we ran for like 10 years, no problem. Dude, I was running my old PC with like the fan didn't even work, and then the fan for the power unit I just pulled out. Right. Just said, fuck yeah, I don't need this. And it still ran great. But yeah, whatever. GTA 5 is trash.
No, I'm glad you had the proper amount of time allotted for you to vent about the computer. No.
Sure.
No, that's it.
He's still got a lot.
I can tell he's still not past it.
I mean, go ahead, man. Do you have something else you need to get off your chest?
He's gonna go full.
Fuck you.
So, like I was saying, Skyrim is putting out a 10-year anniversary edition. But actually, what they're going to do is they're going to pull a lot of their created content from the fans and third-party companies that were deemed good enough to add to it.
Honestly, what more can you do?
I mean,
what more can be done? I mean,
lightsabers.
Listen, that game took a legitimate year of my life, and the only reason it stayed to 1 year is because I was like, I can't do this. I just got to finish the story. I didn't even finish the story until a year later. It was just all side quests. Like, fucking hate you guys.
Yeah.
It's a year of my life. And here's the worst part. Dude, you want to see me really get fucking mad? I played that game for a year. Fucking loved it. I didn't even bother with the side quests. I'm like, oh, there's a giant troll 20 miles that way. I'm going after it. Listen, I fucking love that game.
Yeah.
Finally, I decided I'm going to beat it. Screw it. Just go through the main quest. The game glitches out. After I beat the final boss, But before the actual conclusion of the game, where you got to go talk to somebody and then the game's over, it glitches out right there.
You were stuck in Sovngarde.
100%. I technically have never beat that fucking game because it glitched out. Because like, there's no prior save. Like, and I'm not gonna play that fucking game again. I'm not gonna get sucked into it. I don't care. So that game is like just sitting there and like in my PlayStation, just like this. Like,
I have actually beat the game twice. In all its completion, all the add-ons. The second time I went back in,
you're still married, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think it helps my marriage. My wife is like, "You're gonna go play your game. I'm gonna go watch my show over here," and she's like, bachelorette shows and all this other shit, like Love at First Glance. Good.
Nerd.
Enjoy. Yeah.
I hate that shit. You should never let your significant other have access to your stuff. My girlfriend watches my Netflix, and I always come home and it's like, do you want to watch season 2 of like Lesbian Tropical Adventure? I'm like, what?
You're an asshole.
And then you're like, of course I do.
When the fuck did I watch season 1?
This is my Netflix account.
Well, my search history is butchered. It is fucking ruined.
How dare you mess up my Keeping Up with the Kardashians playlist?
God damn it.
For your Iron Chef.
I don't want to see this shit.
Oh, that's fucking great. How about you, Alexis? Anything?
Oh no, let Ian go first. I want to hear what you guys got to say.
Fuck,
Clearly, other than Netflix,
go for it.
I'm just here waiting. I mean, you guys know me. I could bitch about whatever all day, so I'm letting you say whatever. I'm gonna go the Ed route.
No, the only thing I watched was I finished the What If. Disney's What If again, their second episode.
All right, I'd scrap that. Anyway.
Bro, that T'Challa episode was dope.
It was good.
I haven't watched anything yet.
It's so good,
I haven't
man.
watched it.
Yeah.
No, you can talk about it.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
The last time I cared about spoilers was just either like Rick and Morty or Game of Thrones. That was it.
But that Game of Thrones was something special, man. That had people watching it at the same time back. Like
wait. Why was it special? Series. Because a guy in a wheelchair got the throne. What the hell?
Fuck that guy. Okay, look.
Wow, dude. Are you trying to get the podcast taken off that quick? Like, well, fucking guy's in a wheelchair. Fuck you. Like I give a shit.
Sofa Kingdom does not support anything that Ian has just said.
Because I care.
All opinions are of the respective owners, not of Sofa Kingdom Incorporated.
I just want to know how they're going to.
How dare they give this two-wheel power wheel micro machine bastard?
Oh my god! I just want to know how you're going to put the wheelchair access on King's Landing. How you going to make that out of stone?
Listen, he doesn't need access. They throw him from windows.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, so they're going to toss him from the King's room.
Yeah, he already fell once.
Rope.
Nah, he doesn't even have Hodor anymore carrying him around.
That's true.
Oh.
Dude, the best meme of all time was that IKEA Hodor doorstop.
Oh yeah.
When that episode came out, and then the doorstop came. Look, spoiler alert. Hold the door.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so good. It was so stupid. I was so mad, but I was dying laughing watching that episode.
Yeah.
Just because, like, this guy has been saying Hodor this whole time because of that, and you trash bastards throw a meme at the guy.
His whole life was just a tragedy.
Can you imagine, as the actor itself, you're sitting there, you're getting all this recognition, and you're literally just saying one word, which I'm not an actor, but in an acting world, that's tough. Yeah. Like that, you might as well be like
Wait a second.
mime.
So are you calling Vin Diesel I am Groot a fucking a savant?
If I was the engineer, dude, if I was the engineer for that recording session, just having to listen to a million different versions of this dum-dum trying to express himself with I am Groot. I am Groot?
So the all-star is really the engineer having to listen to hours and hours of I am Groot.
Now, you know he turned down the part of Drax to be Groot.
Thank God.
So, like, he did everybody a service. Now he's making music, too. You know that, right?
Oh, my God.
Dude, I could easily mistake...
Is it all about family?
Yeah. I could easally mistake Vin Diesel for Pitbull if he just grew a freaking, like, goatee. Did you ever watch that episode of Family Guy with Pitbull in it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's
Family
like,
Guy's...
hello, my amigo friends. Like, I fucking died.
Oh, man. All right, so the What If episode.
All right.
Oh, shit.
So hold on, no, wait. So wait, no, legitimately. So explain to me the What If, because I haven't watched it yet.
Well, What If is basically it was a comic strip, I think, back in the 90s. It's a whole premise, and it's just stories of different things that could happen in the Marvel universe without any like ties to the actual Marvel timeline.
Right.
Like the episode 1 is what if Peggy Carter, the British agent, became Captain America? What if she went through the thing instead?
Right.
The second episode, which I thought was a lot better, is what if Black Panther, T'Challa, became Star-Lord? What if they didn't pick up Peter Quill from Earth? What if they picked up... And the whole thing was just nuts. The whole thing was a tribute to like Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, and I believe it was
that
his
was
last
his voice.
appearance.
Yeah, that was his
Yes.
It was so much better. If that's the direction that the show's going to go in, it's going to be fantastic.
But I mean, that's really...
There's something that nobody really noticed or has even pointed out yet. The Collector had all of the Avengers' weapons. So essentially, T'Challa won. Everyone else is dead.
Yeah. I mean,
You don't get Cap's shield and Mjolnir unless the motherfuckers are dead.
When I said I'm okay with spoilers, I didn't mean it to that fucking extent.
Dead.
Like dead.
Every one of them.
So I shouldn't tell you,
Dead.
I shouldn't tell you that Thanos is a member of his team.
Voldemort dies.
I was that guy driving through bookstores yelling out the end of the Harry Potter book.
And Bruce Willis is dead at the end of the movie, just in case.
Good. That I'm okay with. Listen, I honestly have only ever watched one Harry Potter movie, and that's because I got paid to.
Oh my god!
I'm dead shit. I'm not shitting you. I got paid to. I used to work at FAU in the computer department for arts and letters, and my boss, super awesome guy, obsessed with Harry Potter. But it was summer, so like the university, nothing's really fucking going on.
Right.
So we would go like after lunch, go like walk on the track for like an hour, do whatever, and then like one Friday, like Harry Potter came out. I think is it the Goblet of Fire or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So like after lunch, like, hey, we're gonna go watch Harry Potter. Are you coming? I'm like, not really my thing. He looks at me like, are you stupid? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you can stay here and work, or you can get paid to watch Harry Potter. I was like, let's fucking go.
Let's
Like
do
3
it.
hours, dude. Like we got out like 5 o'clock. I was like, I just afternoon watching Harry Potter. Cool, yay, Harry. Like never watched another one ever again.
Damn.
Yeah, I think that got voted off our thing, right? I mean,
it definitely did. Yeah.
We took a poll as to what would stay. It was Harry Potter, Vikings, Game of Thrones, and there was one other one, Lord of the Rings.
Got off for what?
Yeah, for like fantasy.
It
like
said one of these has to go. One whole genre.
Oh, fuck Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter. It was like a unanimous.
History Channel.
For sure.
Well, that's like I did another poll with like vampire movies, and I snuck in like Twilight, knowing that everybody, it was like Interview with a Vampire,
Underworld,
Blade, Underworld,
Dude,
Twilight.
I walked out of Underworld.
Wait, which one? The first one?
Yeah.
The first one was great. I think all the other ones that followed were trash.
And I had free tickets.
But look, the only movie I ever walked out of was Alexander, and that I
Which
thought
one's
was
that?
trash.
That was the one with
Colin Farrell and Angelina Jolie. It was so bad.
Hold on. Why would you even go?
Because I was really into like Gladiator epics and Troy and things like that. So I was like, oh, Alexander is probably
Colin Farrell and Angelina Jolie. Like, what more do you need me to tell you?
Have you ever seen Tigerland with Colin Farrell?
No.
It's a fantastic
Colin
movie
Farrell.
about the Vietnam War.
What role can you tell me?
Wait, okay. All right, I'll tell you right now.
Farrell fucking killed it.
I'll tell you right now. Daredevil. Oh, Elektra. Was it Elektra? That he
What?
played Bullseye?
He played Bullseye.
He played Bullseye.
What movie can you tell me
I just did.
where Colin Farrell killed it where you're like, yo,
all right,
give my man an Oscar?
Tigerland.
What movie?
Tigerland. I'm telling you right now. You haven't seen it, so you can't comment on it.
Colin Farrell is the douche that wears a beanie in like 105-degree weather in LA. Right? What was the movie he did? It was like the phone booth, right?
Phone booth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, I was so excited for that movie. I went to watch the movie. I was like,
I don't think it was terrible. I don't think it was terrible.
Listen, I know I'm a guest here, but can we vote him off the island?
No, you can talk shit.
No.
I don't watch much Colin Farrell movies. I've only seen him really in Daredevil.
Have you seen the phone booth?
I didn't care.
It wasn't.
Did you watch it or you?
No, because I didn't care.
Yeah,
he was rebuilding our PC.
that long ago.
I had more important things I needed to, check the latency on the RAM.
That was like 2004.
It was at a time where there wasn't really a lot of other great options in the movie theater too.
Including
I think
Harry
that
Potter.
was like Speed, like 3 was coming out at that time. Movies with Sandra Bullock, like Miss Congeniality, and then fucking Phone Booth. I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna see Phone Booth.
And she did a better job than Colin Farrell.
Listen, Sandra Bullock is trash.
I'm actually
She's a trash.
I'm not listening.
I'm fucking struggling right now to find a Colin Farrell movie in my head. I'm like, I have like, ever since you said that, I shut off. And I'm over here like, I'm like, when the fuck did he do a good job?
Tigerland. It's like a B-level movie.
Which one?
It's Tigerland. It's about Vietnam, and it's actually a really, really good movie. He actually takes himself seriously.
How long is the movie?
Probably like an hour and 20 minutes.
If I get 30, 45 minutes into it, and I'm like, fuck this guy, I'm legitimately going to send you like a horse penis pic or something. Be like, here's what I think about your movie.
And then I'll sit it here on the table for the podcast.
Yeah, go for it.
For the entire episode.
Go for it.
All right.
It's so bad. You know what's funny is that watching The Boys.
Yes.
I always mistake him for that dude. I was like, is that Colin Farrell?
Yeah, the guy who plays Billy.
It's like, Colin Farrell, you mean that other guy?
Yeah, no. He kind of looks like Hugh Jackman to me.
He could. He could play with the beard and stuff.
I was thinking he would make a really good Wolverine, actually, in the Marvel Universe.
Colin Farrell?
No, man. The guy from The Boys.
See, you don't even fucking know his name.
We gotta keep Colin Farrell away from
You know,
Marvel.
You don't even say his name. You say the guy that looks like Colin Farrell. You're like, hey, yeah, that guy.
What the hell is his name?
I mean, they're thinking of Daniel Radcliffe, which would be a tremendous waste.
I still gotta watch.
He's like 100 pounds too light in the ass.
Who the fuck is thinking of Daniel Radcliffe for Wolverine?
I'm telling you, like, he's being considered, him and then the kid from...
Bro, that kid's got to take so many steroids.
Look what they did to Batman.
The steroids.
They put that fucking idiot in to play Batman.
Dude, was it Twilight?
I think the problem is they're trying to find someone that's legit, like 5'3", to actually play Wolverine's height.
Nah, I think you can't go backwards. Once Hugh Jackman played Wolverine, you have to find somebody of his stature and caliber to continue the legacy.
You don't go from Harry Potter to fucking Wolverine. You don't do that.
So listen, hold on.
That's not a progression.
So here's a question, because I was thinking about this when you told me like the subject.
Yeah.
Pick a movie, and then pick the worst person that you could pick to fill in that star role.
Okay.
So like, for example, let's say,
I got one.
Okay.
Black Widow. Sandra Bullock.
100%. 100%. I would agree with it.
She would be terrible in that role.
Listen,
that's pretty good.
I used to have the biggest crush on Sandra Bullock, like right around like the Speed days.
Right.
And then I watched the biggest piece of shit movie, Bird Box or whatever was it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, everybody was so hyped about it. I was like, oh, this movie looks dope. Let's go. I was like, all right, it's not bad.
It was good up until the girl got in the burning car. Everything after that was trash. I was a big fan of that.
Again,
was BD
didn't care, didn't watch it.
No, I mean, like, listen, it's
And,
literally...
Machine Gun Kelly was in it. I know
Yeah,
that.
it was like...
Was he?
Still don't care, still not going to watch it.
It's like, I give it credit where it was like, the premise was like 30 to 40%. I was like, all right, not bad. And then it got to like... They were rowing down the like freaking whitewater.
Everybody's
like,
blindfolded.
Like, shut up.
Yeah, you're sure to
And then
die.
and then you got the bird. Really, the bird's gonna like. First of all, that's fucked up. I didn't even see any breathing holes for that little bird. That bird's gonna be dead anyway.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, that movie. Like, don't watch.
Rowing down the Colorado River with a dead bird.
With a dead bird you can't watch, and then someone's there. It's like, come on.
All right, so then what movie would you choose, or what role would you choose, and what?
All right, let's do it this way. Let's pick like an iconic movie, right? Let's say Star Wars. Who would you pick to be Luke Skywalker? But it has to be like the worst possible person.
All right,
like,
Ian,
but,
I'll let you start with this one. Go ahead.
Worst possible person.
It can be like
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, it could be like a character like now. It could be
Kevin
like
Hart.
Kevin Hart.
I think it could pull it off.
I think it would be funny.
It'd be funny, but I think it could pull it off.
It would change the whole goddamn dynamic of the universe. Literally. It would,
But see, here's the counter to that. It would be like what's his face now? What's his name? The black dude.
Oh, Colin Farrell.
No. He wishes.
you mean the only black dude in Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh.
What's his name?
Chris Tucker.
No.
Samuel Jackson.
He's in the new ones.
The other black guy.
The other black guy.
Yeah, yes, in the movies.
Oh my gosh, his name. He's like flipping out, like basically cursing out, like.
I remember his character name is Finn.
Yeah, Finn,
Yes,
the guy that
Finn.
played Finn.
Oh, yeah. No,
Kevin Hart as Finn would have been like perfect. That would have been great. And that's not even like in the subject we're talking about. I would have rather seen like Kevin Hart in that role.
Well,
it would have been great.
There's a lot of stuff that actually happened with his character that got scrapped.
Yeah, I saw that.
So he was supposed to actually be integral and become.
Is that why he did all the complaining after?
Yeah, he was supposed to become a Jedi also. And then,
okay, see, and that would make sense.
And they were talking about plans of him actually leading, like as a general, the resistance of the conscripted kids.
Samuel L. Jackson,
and like they kept playing him along with all that stuff, and then it got to the end of the movie, like yeah, cool, all that shit, scrap. Thanks for the filming. We already got you.
Yeah, it's like you signed a contract, bitch. We're going with the chick. We're going with the chick on this one. Like,
yeah. All right, so then I would say Luke Skywalker. Fan favorite here, Colin Farrell.
Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel as Luke Skywalker.
Oh my god. Yeah,
I would say
that would be pretty terrible.
Who could you get to replace Luke Skywalker? And it has to be the way that he does it. Christopher Walken.
Oh god.
Wait a second, a nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
I mean,
that actually might be a decent.
Wow.
What about him as
my father?
What about him as Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Luke.
Like Dad.
I am
the helmet off.
Your
Dad.
father.
All right. So then, to make it better, I would have to say Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage as Luke Skywalker.
Can we leave Nicolas?
No, listen. Nicolas, if it would have happened the way that it was supposed to happen with Nicolas Cage as Superman.
Oh yeah.
Superman as a franchise.
There's photos.
Would have ate shit.
Oh yeah. I don't think superhero movies today would exist.
The long hair Superman
taking it down.
Dude, I mean, he took a healthy swing at getting rid of superhero movies with Ghost Rider.
But I like that one. That wasn't bad. It was exactly what you knew what you were gonna get. And
That's
I was like,
true. That's true.
Like, if I want to sit there on a Sunday afternoon and get wasted on shrooms and watch a movie, it's Ghost Rider.
Dude, Nicolas Cage died for all our sins. The movies he has come up with.
That's Macho Man.
Years.
That was Macho Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that was Macho Man.
Macho Man.
All right.
You remember that, right? Remember Macho Man, like, passed away?
Yeah.
Okay, but you know the day that he passed away.
No. He ate too many Slim Jims.
No. Listen, you want to see something funny? You want to see a funny video? Google Macho Man goes to Publix.
Oh no! All right, I'll check that shit out.
Macho Man died. Remember, like the couple of years ago, there was a whole thing. Oh, the end of the world by the Mayan calendar is March 20th or something. That's the same day that Macho Man died. Macho Man died for all of us.
I'm gonna have to watch this shit.
That's the day that Macho Man died
the
for
world
all of us.
kept going.
The world kept going.
Macho Man. Yeah.
We lost Randy.
So you never seen the photo? There was like a photo of like Jesus and Macho Man's coming down with the elbow. That was the day that Macho Man saved us all.
Oh shit, that's fucking great.
I just know he's one of the best mods in Skyrim.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely is.
They do the Left 4 Dead one. You ever seen the Left 4 Dead one?
I've not seen the Left 4
Dead
one.
Dude, so on my Twitch channel, subtle plug.
Yeah, go ahead, plug it.
So like Left 4 Dead has mods, like they have like a full on mod scene, and like one of the first mods that ever came out was the Macho Man Randy Savage mod. So they replace all the zombie sounds with Macho Man clips.
Oh, that's
so when a horde comes in, you just hear yeah.
Yo, you know what? That would be pretty fucking scary.
No, it would be scary. It's legitimate. Look it up. So then like you're like creeping up, and like when you're supposed to hear zombies like above you, all of a sudden you hear, who's calling Randy?
There's a promo he did where he's doing sleight of hand with milk creamers.
The milk.
The entire time, and he keeps like, yes.
So you got to give him credit. He learned a new skill.
Him and Gene are doing the promo. Yeah.
He learned a new skill. He wants to show it off.
He was a legend.
Dude, and it was funny because like at first you look at it, it's like, holy shit, Macho Man does fucking magic.
Yes.
But then you realize his giant like monkey hand, he's like this, he's like, cream of the crop. Nobody does it better. And he's like, pulls out another one. He's like,
oh, fuck, man.
Dude, that was the best. He did, like, I went on a YouTube, like, just plunge of all the old promos.
Dude, that era, though, that whole era was like the golden era of professional wrestling.
You had Ric Flair, you had Hulk Hogan,
the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, the best are the bloopers. The best are the bloopers.
Plausible deniability about it being real or not.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like
the Ultimate Warrior is just if you took like the essence of cocaine with the essence of anabolic steroids and just created a human being out of it.
He was one of my favorite.
The Ultimate Warrior.
The Ultimate Warrior. There it is.
He was one of my favorite wrestlers.
He would run to the ring full speed and just
him and
freak out on the ropes, man.
Ricky Steamboat.
Ricky Steamboat.
Ricky the Dragon
he was a
Steamboat.
badass.
Yeah.
Like he brought kung fu to the wrestling industry.
Have you
Superfly Jimmy Snuka?
Yes.
Top rope.
Have you watched any of like the interviews that they're doing now? So they have like a lot of the old school guys. And I wasn't like, I loved wrestling, but I wasn't allowed to watch it. So I kind of had to like sneak back. But they have interviews with all the old school guys with crazy stories. Crazy stories of like, I think it was like the Undertaker or Triple H or somebody where like his shoes exploded before he had to go in. And he's like, dude, like they have to make the costumes and everything for everybody right there. So it's just duct taping his shoes before going out there and stuff.
Dude, the Dark Side of the Ring that A&E was doing was really good. That had some stories on there that I never...
I just finished watching the documentary with Jake the Snake Roberts.
That was
deep.
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, I gotta say, and he wound up pulling himself out, of a bad spot. But then they brought in like Razor Ramon came in later on and everything.
Did you watch the one with the Sheik?
Iron Sheik.
Oh, I want to see that. Actually,
dude. The one with the Sheik will hit you hard in the feels because that one is bad.
Yeah,
that one is bad because I mean, he probably still does, but I mean, the guy's what 50?
Yeah,
he's still around. He's on Instagram, and Twitter, and he stays running his mouth.
He still talks shit. He still talks shit
on everybody. But
it's like that's clearly not a character.
He was a legit Olympic wrestler though, right?
Yeah, he's legit. No, the dude is legit. But he was like seriously deep into drug problems.
Sure.
Deep into drug problems, even till like a couple of years ago. So they show footage of him like going to pick up drugs and stuff like that.
Wow.
So it's like, damn. Because everybody looks up to the Iron Sheik. He's crazy.
Yeah.
And like he used to do I forget what it was called, those giant weights.
Oh, yeah.
Like he would
the Indian clubs.
The Indian clubs.
He would work at his forearms,
People are like, I couldn't pick it up. I couldn't pick it up, and he's just sitting there like swinging it like this. So that's the test they would do is like you got to start doing this. Like good luck.
Well, people would forget because like we said, he was like a legit Olympic high level Iranian wrestler. He was insane.
I actually met the Iron Sheik. I met
Sergeant Slaughter,
and George the Animal Steel.
Yeah, if you were in Pennsylvania and you went to
Camelback
Mountain, you were plausibly going to run into Sergeant Slaughter and his family.
And it was great because he would wear the
You know
hat.
exactly what I'm going to ask. You know what I'm going to ask. Is that like a male strip club? No. You can't just throw out that name.
It's a ski resort.
Wait. You cannot just casually throw that name out there like everybody knows what Camelback Mountain is.
I didn't say Camel Toe Mountain. I said Camelback.
Am I wrong for this? Am I an asshole?
Instantly, Alex's hands like...
I said it was him and his family.
Jesus Christ. Well, it's not like you could just walk into Cheetahs. Like.
So anyway, we met Sergeant Slaughter.
Like if you lived in Pennsylvania in 1995 and walked into the booby trap, like you would know.
Like you would see right there at table 4.
Yeah. No, he was a cool dude.
It was
he
a
was
ski
wearing
resort.
full garb, hat and everything. And so like ran up to him like Sergeant Slaughter. He's like, shh. Keep it down. I'm here with my family. And as a younger kid, I didn't get it at the time.
Oh my God!
You're wearing your uniform. What the fuck?
So I'm like, all right, yeah, man, I won't tell anybody. Turn around, I'm walking away. I'm like, fuck, this guy was wearing a full-on Sergeant Slaughter out. He had the hat on. Of course. I was like, but it was funny. It was a cool moment. He was a nice guy, The others, it was at a street fair in New York. That was a little slightly more sad. George the Animal Steel, Iron Sheik, and I believe, and I could be wrong, it was Hacksaw Jim Duggan, one of the other ones, and they were just doing like signings over at this street fair, and it was like $5 for a picture.
Not looking the best, probably.
No, they were definitely beyond their prime, past their prime.
Yeah, most of those early wrestlers there, when it became kind of big, and then they faded out a lot earlier than you anticipated they would. They looked a lot older than they were, and they were really beat up.
Only pro wrestler I ever seen in person. From York, Pennsylvania, nowhere near Camelback. But
it's a family-friendly place.
Okay, all right.
But you guys talk about it like it's fucking Casa Bonita or something.
But York, Pennsylvania is right by Hershey, by where the chocolate is and where like the stadium is and shit. Well, the WWE would come to town and they would go to Hershey, but they would all stay in York. And I went into Gold's Gym South to work out the one day. I'm like 18, 19 years old. And the Great Khali is in there.
Oh, wow.
And the Great Khali, in case you don't know, is like fucking...
He's huge.
7-foot monsters. But the thing is, I walk into the gym, and I'm ready to work out, and I'm getting past the front desk, and I look, and you can see him. Like, I didn't know who it was at first. I just saw this thing towering over the machines, and I was like, I stopped. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I started to realize, oh my fucking God, it's the Great Khali. I'll never forget putting my hand up to his, and it was just like, it was a dinner plate. I mean, he was just, I could not believe how giant this is. The biggest human being I've ever been around.
Nice, though?
By far. Yeah. Awesome dude, stopped for photos. I mean, a great dude, but
that's how, like,
absolute monster.
I met Bigfoot Silva. So, like, you guys know Bigfoot Silva, like MMA, like, guy. So,
Pride, yeah.
I met him. Man, this is when I, like, really first started doing, like, jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. Super nice guy. I'm big. I'm 6'4". I have giant monkey hands. I can palm a basketball, like, no problem. I can walk around like it. Dude, I went to go shake his hand.
You should get a job at Camelback.
Hey, listen. OnlyFans is fucking me over right now, so if you hiring,
you gotta make that income, brother.
Dude, if you hiring,
you know,
dude, like I shook his hand, and it was the first time in a long time where I felt like a little kid. Like, you know, when you're a little kid, and then like adults are like, yeah, shake my hand. Like, he cuffed my hand. I'm like, you're gross. Please don't touch me. Super nice dude, man. Super nice, but dude, that guy is fucking huge. Like, just big. Like, we're kind of around, like, the same height. He's not that much taller than me, but he just goes, hey. Dude, it's creepy as shit.
Man.
Guy was fighting, like, 150-pound Japanese dudes and shit in Pride. It was great.
Yeah.
Dude, like...
Did he bring a club to the ring?
Yeah, his hand was the fucking club.
See, like, so here's the thing. So, like you never realize... I never realized how big I am compared to other people until we're looking at a photo. So if I put my arm like around you, whatever, and I look, it's like, oh, my hand is the size of your fucking skull.
Yeah.
So like, it's different when you're getting into like fighting and like MMA or like boxing, and then someone puts a glove on, and then you see that in your face, like, huh.
Yeah, like
that's pretty fucking big.
That's a different type of human being right there.
I got to train with Matt Mitrione like one afternoon for like a little bit, just because he was getting ready for the fight against Stefan Struve.
Nice.
So like George pulls me in to go train with him. Like, dude, no. Like, so like I had to hold him in the half guard, and Matt had to break out of it. So he's like, hold on as tight as you can. I'm like, okay, dude. And I was holding like 90%. I was like, I'm not stupid.
Right.
Dude explodes out. Like, there was nothing I could have ever done to like keep him in. There's nothing. I'm not even gonna try. Like, I mean, I did submit him later on, but that's different.
Oh shit!
There's nothing I could have ever done to where I could have sat there like I held on to it. And then he goes for like mount, and he's just practicing like pounding. Dude, I saw Matt Mitrione's fist in my face. I was like, fighting is not for me. No way. I'm good. MMA is not for me. I'm solid, man. I'm good.
No, that's like I love jiu-jitsu. I love the community and the sport altogether. I think everybody knows George. From the gym.
George Santiago.
And
shout out to XL Jiu-Jitsu.
Fantastic person. Another George came into the gym. We called him affectionately Colossus.
Oh
yeah, dude.
And
formerly white belt George, now blue belt George.
Yeah, when I trained with that man, I was just like, there is nothing I can do to this person. Like, he was just a monster. Very nice guy. Very nice guy. But
very physically
athletically
strong.
And physically, he was just on a completely different plane of existence than
I
was.
Genetically, like, George was just a beast. And he played rugby before. So I
couldn't imagine getting smashed by him on a rugby field.
George, and he was like one of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet. But like having to train with him, I was like, all right, this I have to be on point for. I knew I wasn't gonna out muscle him. Like, I could definitely meet him like strength wise on certain occasions, but all out, no way. But it had to be all technique. So it was like, man, that dude is a beast, man. I haven't talked to him since like he took off. So
you'd have to roll with him different, because you're like, okay, I can't go for this, because if he just moves this way, he will hurt me. Like, I can't even attempt this, because if he just crushes in like this, my own arm will break.
Yeah.
Like, he can lay on you, and the sheer force of his weight and just stature could.
He was
oh my God.
He was only 205, 210.
Yeah, but he
felt heavier.
Solid.
Yeah, he's solid.
Like 0.333%
that
body
dude,
fat.
That dude better hope and pray he never gets caught like with a sinking boat, because he ain't swimming. He's solid. That dude is gonna sink.
All right, I tell you what, fellas. I know we were gonna discuss some cinematic movies, some classics.
We have a structure.
Oh yeah, we got a little. So I figured
we have a structure that we discuss, and then Nelson throws it out the fucking window when we start.
Do you guys have like a time limit, or
I'm good.
We're good. Yeah, we discuss things.
Listen, I'm all down for a 4-hour podcast.
Listen, let's do some shit. So
we got to shoot our OnlyFans later. We got a month left.
Do you have like porn music on this thing? Let's get it going.
No, Eddie has some weird selections of button presses.
We do got some sounds on there.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Yeah. Kevin Sorbo.
That's my podcast.
I might have to steal a couple of your sound clips. That's a good one. That one,
That's not bad.
Classic.
That's not bad.
That's a good one.
Sad Hulk.
Hulk.
Sad Hulk.
You know, we've broken into that with some Ian stories quite often.
I got a punch. There you go.
Yeah.
Matt Hilton.
He did a great job with that. He did. But so I was thinking, we could discuss some of the classics, personal favorites. But
by
we could
genre?
jump into genres.
By genre.
Yeah. And I was thinking we could start with war movies.
Okay.
As a genre.
Can I get a beer first?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's
Is it beer time?
through the door
right.
into the.
Someone's gonna have to get out my fucking. No, I'll get it.
Wait. No. If you climb over, we might lose the whole production table. I'm gonna grab you.
Are you
beer.
calling me fat? Calling me fat, bro?
Just a
I mean, why aren't you guys drinking? Hold on, why am I the only one drinking?
Well, the beers were warm, so I put them to get cold.
Listen, it's not my fault you live next to the shittiest Target ever.
I put them to get cold. Listen, you guys keep going. I'm gonna go grab us some beers.
We'll wait. Go get
What
it.
do we?
No, we won't. We'll
wait.
keep talking. We'll keep
We'll
going.
wait. Go get the beer.
This has never happened before. This has never happened before.
We'll wait.
We gotta prepare for this.
No, we'll wait. Listen. This is like the podcast where I'm not having to be in charge of everything. So
legit came on our podcast and just had Nelson go get him a beer.
I'm like, I am a guest in this house. No, dude, I'm not joking. It was like so awkward for me because I have my own podcast and I have to take charge of everything. Oh, perfect.
So it's nice just to be.
Sir?
Oh, thank you.
Eddie?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you.
Well, we just changed the whole demographic.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So it's like awkward when you guys were doing the intros. I'm like, nope. No, I don't know what to do here.
Now we're real laid back here.
Do a more formal introduction.
It's all good. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm in. I just like start drinking. I was like, hey, cheers, let's go.
Well, we broke the ice. That was the first time someone's actually had to leave the studio and come back during the recording.
Everybody,
we did it.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Good.
Thank you for having me.
We'll try to get some structure here.
I didn't touch Eddie's glass because he took too long talking about technology in the beginning of the podcast.
Nelson's still pissed. He's still.
It was a sleight of hand.
Did you guys just touch tips? Like,
Yeah.
Well, if you want, we can discuss the cooler I put in.
Please, God, no.
Is it water cooled?
And lets it run at maximum.
But is it water cooled?
No, I didn't have
shut
to.
the fuck
I didn't
up.
have to go with water cool with it. Because it is still sitting in this house
Jesus
with the
Christ.
less than technical person. I don't need to worry about water cooling when it's somewhere else.
Why is there coffee stain rings on the top of the tower? I use it as a coaster.
Yeah.
All right,
All right, so
war
we're
movie.
gonna dive right into some war movies.
Now is this war like every single time period? We're not going into the class.
Is it like directly like what are the specifications? Is it like does it have to be
an American war?
Action in the war or
I say
something that
like realistic
war-related?
war movies, so not like Star Wars war or
got it.
sci-fi or fiction or anything like
So
that.
a
Something-
realistic depiction of war.
yes.
Got it.
And for me, I definitely, and it's probably on everybody's like top 10 list for war movies, is Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Not even top 20.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here! What are you watching?
Not even
We'll wait till we get to him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm sure it's gonna be interesting. But who the fuck doesn't like Saving Private Ryan? The movie was fucking fantastic. It was an epic. It was one of those movies that at least a couple of times during the movie you got even caught in the feels a little bit.
A couple scenes there.
Yeah. The sniper.
Yeah.
Just taking out the other sniper in the tower. That was a fucking dope scene.
For
Especially
shooting Vin Diesel. You gotta forget Vin Diesel was in that
true.
movie.
especially because he got shot. That was great. Yeah. I always appreciate Vin Diesel going down in the movie.
He had more than just I am Groot.
Yeah.
And family.
Family.
But like the scene where...
Then again, his whole scene was talking about family while he was dying on the ground.
He was.
It's true. That's where it all started for him.
He saved the little girl and then tried to get a note back to his family. That's how it went out.
Fucking one-dimensional bastard.
That's a
Genius.
Genius.
Yeah. You know, the scene where the Jewish soldier fighting on the side of the Americans is getting murdered by the German soldier.
Yeah,
thank you for that, Steven Spielberg.
That slow stab.
Man, that was the first time that I yelled like an idiot at the TV. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was one of the most
Get up the stairs. Get up. I was so mad at that guy.
That was raw.
I was like, this is your fucking fault.
That was raw. That was
that's actually one of my favorite scenes because of the actual... No, it's a good movie. I'm just
He's like, caught him.
No, it's a good movie.
Cut the ball. Cut the audio.
Like, redo. No,
That's it. It's over.
It's legit because like I do love watching like old documentaries with actual interviews from people in it. And remind me, I got to tell you guys a fucking crazy story I heard from a guy in the war, but that's as real as you're gonna get. And that's the part where people don't get when, you know, really you're talking about guys that were 18, 17, 19 years old when they're in that war. So you're seeing older actors, but man, imagine being 19 and you're sitting there like fighting to plunge like a dagger into somebody's chest.
And you know, they didn't glorify it is another thing that I liked about the depiction of the movie itself. It was trying to show it as hectic, as crazy, as realistic as it could be. And that, you know, these guys were out there. They realized they're in the shit, and they had to protect each other. You know, essentially, they're getting orders from their higher-ups, but the boots on the ground is where the actual fight is, and that's where the actual family, Vin Diesel style, that takes place. That camaraderie is real. I never had to go to war, fortunately. I served, but I could tell you in the short amount of time that I did serve, that's one of the biggest things that I missed when I went to my civilian life was that there was a different kind of camaraderie. People took care of each other. Different races, religions, creed, didn't matter. We all had each other's back. Yeah. And then you go back into reality and people are like, oh, I got to get a fork at 8 o'clock. Oh, my life is horrible. I was like, bitch, I was sleeping in a hole in the ground.
You ever had to shit in a bucket?
Yeah. Your shit is real.
Yeah, you have to burn your shit with diesel fuel in the desert.
I mean, if you want to get a good perspective of what the actual soldiers look like, if you go on YouTube, you can find boot camp videos.
Yeah.
And when you watch it and you're looking at it, you're like, man, I don't think anyone in here can grow a proper beard. These are kids.
Yeah.
And then put that into the frame of what you're watching in the movie.
Yeah.
It really does hit home differently than when you're watching the actors who are clearly older than the people that were actually there.
So that's my pick, Ian.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you kind of stole my pick there.
That was.
I'll be the first to say that. Before,
literally the only movie I ever watched.
I mean, you got the special box set. No, I'll go as far as to say that Saving Private Ryan I do think is the best war movie of all time. But since you took that and it stands alone as itself, I'll go with Full Metal Jacket, and I'll go with Full Metal Jacket just because R. Lee Hamey's opening monologue in the beginning I think is one of the best.
You will not laugh. Yes. You will not cry. You will learn by the numbers.
I will teach you. Yes, that literally. And the thing is, he ad-libbed that. He did that himself. They did not know what he was going to do when they started filming it. He was an actual
sergeant.
Yes.
He was an actual. And they brought him in, and they had hit cut. Only because he had said something, and I went, what the fuck does that mean?
you know, he stole that part, right?
Yeah.
He stole that part. That wasn't for his. Yeah. He came in as a consultant. So he got picked as a consultant, and he was trying to get that part. So he was fucking with Stanley Kubrick the whole time. He's like, you're doing this wrong. Say this, and that. And
he ended up, do what you got to do.
Yeah, no, listen, he wanted that part. Like, there's interviews like he wanted that part, and he kept on sitting there and saying, this is wrong, this is wrong. He came in with like a whole like script of like, this is really what he would be saying. Sure. He's like, but you're still not going to get to what it really is. And finally, it just happened where the actor that they had picked, like, didn't do it anymore, and Kubrick's like, all right, you're in, and he just did it, and that was like 3 takes.
Killed it.
Well, you know what? When it comes to basic training, I will say that feel of the way he's yelling and that in-your-face shit is as as legit as it is gonna be as a depiction for basic training.
Total side note, I've always wondered this, and I have a couple of friends actually that made a career as like drill instructors, and then that. How the fuck do they yell to that extent for that long and they don't lose their voice?
Bro, it's like building a muscle. You know, like it's like singers that sing all the time. Like for them, when we were being basic training at Fort Benning, we're eating breakfast. And they're watching that scene.
I could get into the actual logistics of it with the way the false chords
Jesus
work.
Christ!
Well, no, listen, I mean, I can,
okay, yeah.
I can because I went to school for music, so I totally understand it. But that's why I understand, like, that's a different level of doing it.
It is. They're committed, I think, is the biggest thing. I don't think it's anything other than they know that they have to train soldiers. They really take their job very seriously. And they know that they have to break you down from who you are, get all that shithead out of you, and then build you back up as a better, stronger person.
They're preparing people to plausibly go fight in a war and die.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Their job is
getting you
very,
ready.
very serious.
Yeah. And they would watch that scene in the morning, like in a TV. They would stand around it, and we're eating breakfast like, fuck, it's going to be a tough day. They're getting hype. They're like, eat your breakfast and shut the fuck up.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. Just off the Betrayal boot camp alone, it's a Vietnam War era movie.
That's a good movie.
It's a fantastic.
It's a
It
fantastic
took like
movie.
7 years, 10 years or something to make.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It was a great movie. It really was. How about you?
I want to see if you guys can hang on this one. So it's not a full on, I guess, war movie like those two.
Okay.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Okay.
All right.
Never seen it. Is that Aladdin part?
No,
2?
that's more.
No.
That's more
So
classic.
Lawrence of Arabia is a 3-hour long movie that, to me, if you like, because I'm a history kind of person, historically speaking, that is going to give you the best understanding of why everything that's going on in Afghanistan is going on now. Because it really started with the British.
Okay.
And what happened was, so it's Peter O'Toole, and he got chosen. He was kind of like an outlier. He kind of always like fuck with people, but he got chosen to go and speak with the tribes, and he just basically created this tribal feud with everyone, and then like he banded a lot of them together, all to help the Brits fight, and then kind of just fucked everybody over. They don't go into
True story.
it's everything that you see in there is 90% true.
Never seen it. Sounds good.
Dude, it's a 3-hour movie. It's fucking amazing. Like cinematically speaking, it's probably one of the most beautiful movies you have ever seen.
If you look at like top 100 lists, it's usually
Always on there.
Yeah.
Always on there.
They created a lens for this one shot, one specific shot. The lens is about this big. It's in a museum. Not in a museum. It's actually in the company's like archives. Like in a glass case. They created a lens specifically for this one shot, and it's considered like one of the best shots in cinematic history, where it's just one guy coming from like 20 miles away horseback, and they're filming it, and they had to create this lens just for that. That scene alone, like, it's quiet, but it puts you into kind of the disparity of the whole situation.
Nice.
It's actually one of the best movies like you could watch. The beginning's a little bit kind of like
Right.
whatever, but once you get into it, it's good. The only mistake to me that they did in this entire movie is they chose Sir Alec Guinness to represent like a sheik, some Arabic sheik.
Classic Hollywood.
Wasn't available.
Dude,
Classic Hollywood.
Super racist, super duper racist.
But to be fair, at that time,
That was the way they did
It
it.
was the way they did
Yeah,
it.
But
it didn't
no.
matter what you were. Some white guy was playing you in a really bad way.
Here's
Absolutely.
the thing. Here's why that doesn't actually make a solid argument, because everybody else is Arabic descent.
Oh wow.
So the like secondary lead
Okay,
character
okay.
is this white guy with really bad bodybuilder tan,
Right.
like sitting there like pretending he's a sheik.
But you know what? They still do that. They did the Ghost in a Shell, It's based off an anime.
Yeah.
You go to the boardroom scene, everyone in there is Japanese, and then the main character
Scarlett Johansson.
Now, I'm not angry at seeing Scarlett Johansson in there.
Don't talk bad about Scarlett Johansson.
But it's just what it's something they even still do up until now, where they just like, but that person. Yeah.
It's a weird.
What we're selling.
That's too big of a role.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's a weird argument to make.
Get some white on there. Yeah.
Like to me, like. If you're talking about specifically where race and everything plays a part of the role, 100% yes, you need to fill that role properly, right? So, like, if you're doing the live action Mulan, you're not going to get a white chick to sit there and do it.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to get an Asian person to do it.
At least you're not supposed to.
If you're doing, like, a voiceover character kind of thing, I'm like, I kind of give a little bit of leeway.
Or if it's a cartoon being brought to life, like people, get a grip.
Then like
it's Blue when they attack Will Smith. Like, okay, Robin Williams would have been the best pick, but he wasn't alive at the time.
Listen, Will Smith in Aladdin was trash.
But again, that's made for kids, right?
Was it Space Jam 2 trash?
I will not watch that.
Nothing is Space Jam 2 trash.
There's only one person here that's seen it, so I don't know.
Listen, out of nostalgia and out of pure curiosity, and I sat through the whole train wreck. Because once I commit in for a penny, in for a pound, I'm going to see this through to the end.
How are you even in this conversation then?
I said it's
You
trash.
brought up Colin Farrell as some kind of like amazing actor, and now you're like
Tigerland.
You have to watch Tigerland. I'll stand by it.
I watched Space Jam 2. Like, see,
we're done here. I'll stand by it. I'll stand by Tigerland, man. I'm telling you, it's worth the watch.
Listen,
I'm gonna Rotten Tomatoes.
Total side note, like I love shit movies. Like I love the absolute like someone got $100,000 to make this and I'm working like an asshole. Like
right,
but I'll watch it.
That's fair. All right, Ed, what about you? What is your choice?
You guys kind of stole 1 and 2 already, so it's hard pressed for me to think of another movie. But I'd have to go with a miniseries then, and Band of Brothers.
That was good.
Band of Brothers was fantastic.
Especially, I enjoyed the fact that they gave it more time to tell the story, and they had the actual people there to describe what was going on, and then the filming was just putting kind of into motion what they were talking about and letting you kind of very viscerally get a better visual understanding of what that really was for them.
And I liked that they had real war veterans at the end talking about their stories.
Yes.
Because it just added to me the realism of what they were depicting on the screen. And I think it was beautifully done. I really liked the actors that they picked for it, despite one of them being from Friends. He did a good role.
No, Band of Brothers is really good. I mean, I love a good war movie because there's so many you could go through, like Apocalypse Now, even though it's not as realistic, but the mentality of him, like in the hotel room or whatever that he was in and being completely drugged out and stressed out, full on PTSD before they even knew. Like,
and apparently filming that movie was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it took like 7 years or some shit. Brando
didn't even learn his lines. He came in like
well, that's Marlon Brando, man. He's just fucking psychopath.
Dude, like, and it's funny because him absolutely not giving a fuck is what made the end scene so good.
Yeah,
because he's just sitting there. They couldn't film him because he got so overweight. So they had to put him in the dark, so you only see like flashes of his face.
And the process,
you gotta get creative when you gotta finish the movie, right?
And the process of filming, he had gained so much weight. By the time they were getting to the end of the movie, they were like, "What do we do to hide the fact he's like 100 pounds heavier?"
It's this giant monster. They stick him in the dark.
If you look at it, man, there's a lot of good actors and stuff in there. That was like Lawrence Fishburne's first movie.
There was a kid in there. Yeah,
was that Charlie Sheen?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then who's the
no, not Charlie Sheen, Martin
Sheen. It was Martin Sheen. And who was the consigliere in The Godfather? He was in Second Hand.
Colin Farrell.
No,
yeah,
he was in The Judge with
that's
Jr.
Oh my gosh, I know his name. He's actually one of my favorite.
He's the one that says,
actors.
"I love the smell of napalm in the morning." He has that line from that movie.
Oh
yeah, probably the most famous line from that movie.
Oh my god.
And actually, he's played like the most racist role in that whole movie. I know his name. He actually lives here in Wellington.
Yeah. Villardo Jiu Jitsu. He was in there. The one his girlfriend.
That's how I know. That's how I saw him. No, that's how I saw him.
I passed by him like several times because he would
Robert
wear
Duvall.
Robert Duvall. Yeah, he would wear a baseball
Pull that
cap.
one out my ass.
He would sit out there in the Land Rover. He would sit in the Land Rover and watch class.
But every now and again, he would
really nice guy,
dude. So funny story about that. So
unlike Tommy Lee Jones, who's a dick.
Yeah. So I had just done a like full on binge of The Godfather, like 3 or 4 days before like this happened. But because I used to train at Velardo with Fernando, so I was full on. Actually, I take that back. They re-released it in the movies, like when they had the remastered. So like we're doing warm ups and we're running. And, like, at one point, you're running towards the door.
Yes.
The front door. Excuse me. And then I'm the first one in line. I'm running. And then all of a sudden, I see Robert Duvall open the door. Comes in, just kind of peeks and walk out. I'm like, am I high right now? Or did Robert Duvall just fucking walk in? Because I'm a huge fan. Yeah. I was like, no, that was him. Yeah. I was like, hold up. Why is everybody just so fucking casual about this? It's fucking Robert Duvall. It's not like it's a freaking Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
It's Robert fucking Duvall.
Not Colin Farrell.
Yeah. Come on, it's somebody a break.
Good. Yeah. It's sad that I never got to meet him because I would love to meet him. But yeah, he lives here. He loves polo. He's got horses and stuff.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with like Argentinian tango and stuff
when
like
we
that.
Were there,
his girlfriend is from Argentina, and she actually does ride.
Yeah.
Ironically,
she does.
Yeah. She's a couple of years younger than him too. Yeah. When I saw him in there, I tried not to make a big deal about it too when I saw him, but I was freaking out because I just watched The Judge, and I ended up telling him, I was like, "Hey man," I was like, "I watched your movie the other night." I was like, "You made me cry," and he was like, "That was the idea."
That's kind of what I fucking do, dummy.
That's the idea.
You should have come up there like, listen, just a couple of notes.
Dial it back a little bit with the
Dude, I would love to sit there and talk to him, just asking him questions about working on The Godfather alone.
Yeah.
Like, because I love that fucking movie. I was watching it again the other day. 1 and 2 is so good. Don't watch 3. Don't ever watch 3.
Yeah. So, all right. So, you know what? Since we're talking about mafia movies, let's talk about mafia movies.
We'll go right into Mobster Movies. Okay, that's the next category.
And, Ed?
Ooh.
Don't say Scarface.
Since you got last
pick.
Don't
say
Scarface. You also set the bar high with that Lawrence of Arabia. That came out of nowhere. I was like, whoa.
No, listen,
That was good.
True story, like, when I was growing up, there's only 1 or 2 things that I wanted to be. One was either a bobsled racer in the Olympics, like athlete.
Was that because of Cool Runnings?
100%.
I was gonna say
no. Actually,
to make us got to bobsled team.
Listen,
I can picture you in your tub, like.
Dude, no. Actually, true story. Actually, before Cool Runnings ever came out, because again, like I was born in Italy, like and snow, like
you're like 12 inches too tall to be in a bobsled.
100. No. So here's the thing. Like really, I was trying even up to like the last 2 years to go try out. A friend of mine is an Olympic volleyball player. Nice. She got silver in what was the one in China, Shanghai or whatever? Beijing. Yep. Anyway, they're like, I'm literally on the cusp of height and like age. So if I pushed it, I could probably like still do it. But and then the other thing was like to be like a movie producer. So I was obsessed with movies. Obsessed. Like you're not gonna find an 8-year-old kid watching Lawrence of Arabia and stuff.
Not too
like,
many of them.
And I'm sitting there like, I would have done that.
But to be fair, I've seen some of your work and it's amazing. Like
no, I appreciate it. You don't have to lie. I know I'm trash.
No, like, I know I'm being serious. I mean, especially like if you could take a photo of me and make me look good, I'm like, yo, that
bro, this guy.
I know what I posted.
Wait.
Always comes back to himself.
Did he take the boxing photo?
Yeah.
Oh my! You did make him look good.
Listen, I told him, I said, I'm gonna have to make that my profile.
Yeah. It's like I was like, is that Roberto Duran? Who the fuck is that? I was like, oh my god, that's Nelson.
Man, that's some skill.
And this is how big of an asshole I am. It's like, he still kept his right hand low. I'm that friend. It's like, bro, you look good. You still fucked up.
Take your hand
I appreciate that about you. You know what I mean? A lot of friends don't tell you, you know, they're not straight up with you, you know, and they'll lie to your face and then walk around and talk shit behind your back. I appreciate a good person that will talk shit
directly to your face.
I'll tell you.
That is a good friend.
I'll tell you, I'm never going to sit there and lie to you. I'm never going to sit there and lie to you.
You gotta cherish people.
That's why, like, I always tell people the thing that I will tell you is I'm not going to lie to you, but if it's something that means a lot to you and I have like a really bad opinion about it, I'm not going to bring up. That's why I very rarely bring up people's tattoos, right? I'm not saying nothing to you. I'm not saying nothing to you. I'm dead serious. I'm serious.
Like, oh wow, this is fucking.
If I like your tattoos, I've asked you about your tattoos. I'll ask about the tattoo. But if I see it in this trash, I'll never bring it up. People will be like, "Oh, I just got this tattoo." It's like, that's nice.
Well, look at the time. Look at the time.
It's like, that's great. That's good.
Your hand is low.
All right, but that's why I like Lawrence of Arabia and stuff like that. Like that's why, like for me, it's like I'll go really, really deep on movies.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I was impressed. I'm not gonna lie. That was good.
But I can't believe you never watched it.
No, I'm gonna watch it,
dude. Watch it. Like it's I said, the beginning is a little heavy, and it's different when you don't know the history, like the real history behind it.
Sure.
But if you look at it, and obviously because you're in the military and stuff, when it gets deeper into it, and they start talking about military tactics and why they do like certain things, you're gonna be like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
I think everybody's getting a bit of a crash course just with the news and everything that's going on recently, whether they wanted it or not.
Yeah, that's a whole new thing.
That's a whole separate. But if we're talking about
mob movies,
mafia, crime movies.
Wait, hold on.
No, because I can see Eddie getting into another depressing subject.
No.
I'm not.
Just to agree here, Scarface is not a mob movie.
Oh no, that's where I'm going.
Yeah,
I was figuring.
Here we go.
Scarface is
not a mob movie.
I was counting
a drug dealer.
I was counting crime and mafia movies as essentially
so we're
the same
gonna group
category.
into it.
Yeah. That's where I go with it.
Okay.
Yeah, the Scarface. Is that your pick?
Yeah.
All right, good.
All right, go for
My
it.
bad. I totally fucked up.
Listen. You're entitled to your opinion, even if it's wrong.
Listen, just like when you went movies, and I'm like, but this miniseries over here.
Yeah, no, you've already fucked it up. So go ahead.
Hey man, listen.
Right, I'll let it go.
I'm continuing your tradition of throwing everything out the window.
Listen, that's the way to do it, brother. That's how I live my life.
Go ahead. Keep on telling me why you fucked up.
But yeah, when I'm thinking of like mafia movies and crime movies, it's always Scarface that comes up number one. That kind of story, and everyone knows that line. My little friend. Everyone remembers.
Say hello to my little friend.
That point right there. You're watching them, and they're about to come through the door. For me, that's
Squad.
Yeah. I mean, even the scene with the Quaaludes with him and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, it's hot.
Go ahead, take another Quaalude.
My wife, a woman's so polluted.
Yeah, or say hello to the bad guy. I mean, it's got a lot of quotables. You can't deny that it's a classic.
You know what's the deepest line in that whole movie? Is the restaurant scene. Like, you know why you need me?
Yeah.
You need me so you can point your finger and say, that's the bad guy.
Yes.
It's legit.
It's good.
Yeah, look, I tell you what, it's such a classic that even like my daughter at 19, she sat down and watched it and she was like, man, this is a great movie. I'm like, yeah, it's just one of those movies that's timeless.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's one of those movies where everyone, speaking of timeless, you watch anyone that's like anywhere where you're dealing with something with rap and that kind of thing, where you're looking at their back and their walls. It's like, all right, there's Tupac, there's Biggie, there's Scarface.
Yeah.
They got one of the three always.
I have a poster. Actually, I've had it 20 years now. It's the scene at the end where he's just like slouched back with all the cocaine.
The mountain of cocaine.
But the entire thing is drawn with the entire script of the movie.
Oh,
so it's like the movie written out in hand and with obviously different ink color, and it's that image.
So when you stand back, it's the image. When you get up close, you can actually
you can literally read the entire script.
That's crazy.
It also does a good job of depicting that whole thing with the Cuban exodus that was going on in the cast.
Dude, that whole movie is so deep.
Yeah.
It really does shine a light on that and what happened to Miami.
You know they're remaking it.
I hope
not.
Why?
Great.
Remaking it.
There's
hey, they can put Colin Farrell in there. He can fucking.
I'm sure
start working, Colin.
Because when I
he's a passable Cuban, right?
Absolutely.
I hope they don't.
See, that's the thing. Like again, that's another character where it's like Pacino had to be a Cuban. It's like,
but could you see anybody else doing that role the way that he did?
No,
Pacino, he killed it.
At that time.
No.
Ricardo Montalban.
Drawing a blank, sir. What movie?
You don't know Ricardo Montalban?
He played Khan. He played Khan in Star Trek.
The guy that played Khan.
See? Star Trek. Got it.
There you go.
Ricardo Montalban. He was also the man with the golden gun in
Yes,
the
he was. Yes, he was.
All right.
You remember? You ever see?
He wasn't on Fantasy Island, was he?
That's Fantasy Island.
Okay, there you go.
It's Ricardo Montalban.
Fantasy Island, not as much.
The guy with he had like the little like small dude that was like, "Look, Busty playing."
Yes. Okay. Yes.
So then
Dude, I told you I'm deep on this shit.
No, so then going into yours is your pick. Godfather, or do you have something else?
Solid pick, though. Solid pick.
Yeah, I do love Scarface. It's a good movie. I mean, The Godfather is kind of like Scarface. It's kind of a given. If we're talking mobster movies,
that's like a mob. The Godfather is like a mobster movie, but it's also like an epic. I mean, it's like.
I mean, it is. It really is a mobster movie. Like that's. Again, I'm looking at it deeper into the aspect of yes, it's a good story, and yes, it's good cinematography. But then you have to get into the aspect of it historically speaking, of the like police going against like Italian backgrounds, which is really like Sicilians, how bad mafia like life really is with Sicilians. Like they don't even really touch on that. But I'm trying to think of like any other ones like that are mobsters that I really like dig. And again, I guess for me, kind of like stepping off to the side is the Iceman.
I don't think I've even heard of that one.
So, like, you know, the Iceman, like the, I guess, serial killer, like the hitman?
Yeah.
Okay.
George Kaczynski or whatever.
Yeah, George Kaczynski. So, like, I've been fascinated with that guy forever.
Is that the dude that Ice Pick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. All right. So I know about the person, but yeah, I didn't know there was a movie.
So there's a movie. The guy actually I forget his name. He's a great freaking actor. He played one of the bad guys in the newer Superman movies.
He played Zod.
Zod. The guy that played Zod in the Superman movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
He plays Kaczynski, and man, he does a killer job. I've watched like all his interviews so many times, and he plays the guy perfect. Like dead on perfect to when he's like, when he gets pissed off, like he doesn't have any reaction, but you see him like start like sucking his teeth. He's like, it's like, holy shit, like this is the guy. Like I'm getting goosebumps on it now. Like that's the guy. But I mean, I would put Godfather and I put that one second, but the Godfather for me is like hands down one of the best ones. And it's tough to pick between 1 and 2. And there's guys that have actually edited the movie to make it chronological.
Right.
So you can put 2 and 2 together. But dude, like same thing, because the Godfather goes from, you know, post World War II into like the cocaine era with like Miami and stuff like that. Like again, I was watching it the other day. It's so freaking good on how they played the way Vegas was created, like because it was all mob.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the middle of the desert.
Mob built it. Yeah.
Bugsy Siegel, wasn't it?
Yeah. Bugsy Siegel.
Dude, it was like I've
sent out
heard
there.
stories of like, I mean, people would fly out on a Friday, go to Vegas, go party like at the Sands, and then come back to LA. Like it was crazy.
Yeah. All right. I like that.
That's a good pick. Yeah, Godfather's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah.
Like, you ever notice too, if you want to see something funny, if you ever watch The Godfather? Oh, 2 things. When Marlon Brando first shows up and he's with the cat actually like freaks out and starts like clawing the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So he's like, so perhaps the Marlon Brando, he still keeps going. Like,
Hey, listen, man. He
Come
got this
to me,
role.
ask
Yeah.
me for a favor.
So is that where Dr. Evil got the whole?
Yes.
You never noticed that? Dude,
No,
so
I'm piecing it together.
I can point you like from like where he pieced the whole Marlon Brando for Dr. Evil and like the other James Bond movies, because I
That's dope.
love James Bond.
That's dope.
Like, so it's like, yeah, that one is 100%, because in the beginning of the movie, Dr. Evil's cat is actually all big and fluffy and white like that one. And then he gets frozen and becomes like the freaking
Yeah, the skinless monster cat.
Oh, that's fucking dope.
So in The Godfather, the guy that's in that plays Luca Brasi was a legit mob dude. He was like he was a giant like wrestler, like, but he was like legit into all this stuff. Good, thank you. So like, but he was a badass dude. So when you see him like on that scene where he's practicing the lines to go talk to Brando, he's legitimately practicing them. He was scared shitless
That's fucking great.
to go like talk to him. So he's sitting there like he was so nervous to be like acting with Brando, even though he was like this big like wrestler, guy. He was like a legit dude. He's like practicing. So all that stuff is 100% legit. He's shitting his pants.
That's fucking great. And who's the director for Godfather? Was it
Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, I'm so pissed too. So again, like I was big into it. So when they re-released it, they only released it at 2 theaters down here. It was the Movico, Cinemark, whatever, in Boca. And then it was like another one out in West Boca. So I was like, I wanted to. I'm going to go to the big like theater or whatever. fucked up and picked the wrong one because Francis Ford Coppola was at the other theater. So after they showed the movie, he came out and like started talking to people.
That's dope.
And total side note for like war movies and stuff, if you ever have a chance to go listen to Oliver Stone speak, don't. Fucking don't.
It's just
the most boring fucking man alive.
Some people are better with their art from behind the camera.
Yeah,
dude, he's so boring.
Stick to what you're good at.
Yeah. All right, I'm done.
All right, cool. Ian, what about you?
There's a lot of them. Casino's good. Bronx Tale's good.
Yes.
If I had to go with one, because I'm gonna go like just try to focus traditional like mobster gangster. I'm gonna go with Goodfellas.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Goodfellas.
Fuck
Ray
you, pay me.
Liotta, exactly.
Fuck you, pay me.
Ray Liotta, just the fact that it's a true story about an informant and about the shit that he went through growing up as a kid around the mob life, and just there's so many goddamn good scenes.
And I think that it was
Joe Pesci is like a universal asshole.
Bro, he was like the first Wolverine.
Funny how?
Anyhow, fucking way.
Am I a clown? Do I amuse
he
you?
was a scary man. He was like this tall, and everybody like his attitude.
Hey Jimmy,
and
get your
his anger.
shoe shine back.
Because he was a little dude. Yeah, exactly. He was a little dude, but he'd shoot you in the face. Like he was fucking crazy.
You know what's even worse? Joe Pesci had a rap album.
Wait, what?
No.
Oh, no,
You didn't know
Wait
that?
a minute. Hold on.
I need this in my life. I need
Are you, bro? No. You and I have had so many hip hop head conversations.
No way.
You didn't know?
No idea.
Fucking way.
Bro, are you serious? You didn't know?
I didn't know.
Joe Pesci had a hip hop album out, and it came out, I want to say, around the time of My Cousin Vinny.
What?
That's even better that it came out around then.
Oh, no.
That's ridiculous.
Continue while I pull up the name. Hold on.
So yeah, that's gonna be my pick. That's gotta be my pick.
What go on, my brothers? Joe Pesci in the house.
The movie to me was tense the whole time because of Joe Pesci.
Yep.
Like you never knew when he was gonna explode. And like I've grown up in Brooklyn, so I knew guys like this where like you would hate and love to be around them.
Yeah, because we grew up in Brooklyn, in particular, in an Italian neighborhood.
Yes.
So they were still there.
Yes. we grew up in an era where, like, somebody would say to you, hey, listen, do me a favor. Take the shopping cart, go to the corner store, pick up the beer, pick up the cigarettes. They know you're coming. I'm like 13.
Yep.
I'd go over there, fill it up, go to the club, drop it off. They'd give me like $20. I thought I was fucking rich. Run right to the comic book store, you know. But like, but I will say this: as bad as everybody says this, that, and the third, they took care of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
The neighborhood was clean. The neighborhood was safe. People's kids were running up and down the block without any fucking fear. Like they took care of the fucking neighborhood.
All it took was severe racism and like illegal activities.
Listen, my neighborhood was Puerto Rican and Italian.
Yeah.
And at first, when we first moved into the neighborhood, true shit, like they did not want us there.
100%.
We were this, we were that.
We were the first Puerto Ricans in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and it was because of my father and his work ethic and his kindness towards other people, and also because he didn't take any bullshit.
Yeah.
That we were able to integrate into the neighborhood. And maybe once or twice my aunts came down to try to fight grown men.
Oh, I like that Puerto Rican broad.
Yeah.
Sick of hold her own.
Once they got to know us, they found that Spanish culture and family and Italian culture and family were very, very similar.
Yeah.
And we integrated well after that. But in the beginning, it was a little rocky. But I think just like any other neighborhood or any other story, when people move in and you're like, hey, the whole Italian neighborhood or the Irish neighborhood or the Russian neighborhood, they kind of want to keep it to their own in a way, for right or wrong, whatever it is. But yeah, Goodfellas.
You want to hear a crazy story?
Go for
like a
it.
mob story? So again, like I was born in Italy, right? And my dad did construction. He worked for a construction company, and this guy hired him. He's like, hey, I need someone to do some construction for me. Like, you can come work for me or whatever. And like, it was a couple of hours away from where we lived. So my dad like left. So the story that I got was my dad goes for the first day of work, and the boss comes up to him. He's like, and my dad is not like us, where we were like, I'll fuck with this guy.
Yeah.
He wants nothing to do with anybody that has anything like, and I'll tell you a different story after, but like anything with that kind of like illegal activity kind of thing. My dad's
Right.
a straight shooter.
Right.
The guy comes up to him the first day, like working there. He's like, "What do you want for dinner tonight?" And he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Whatever you want, just tell me what do you want for dinner." He's like, "I don't know, some pasta or whatever." It's like, "Okay." He's like, 7:00, dinner is gonna be ready for you. And mind you, this guy put my dad up like in a house, whatever. Right. He's like, that's where he was staying while he was getting the job done. My dad tells me he walked into the house and on the table, like ready hot, there was a like pasta meal like already there. He's like, I fucking left so quick. I never like, because they keep an eye on everybody, especially if you're new. So it's like they had someone come into the house.
So that was a polite way to let them know, like, hey,
they'll take care of them. We'll take care of
you, but we know where the fuck
you live. But we know where you are. Because it was the guy's house. So my dad's like, I fucking left so quick. He's like, fuck that.
Which brings me to my pick. And it's A Bronx Tale. All right. And for the reason of it was more of two sides of the story, right? Like it had some racial aspects to it which were prevalent. One, Bronx Tale was filmed a couple of blocks away from where I grew up in Brooklyn, so that has a special place in my heart because of that. And like what you said, when you had Robert De Niro and he was trying to raise his son to be a good, upstanding citizen in a land where mafia ruled everything. Yeah. And he even took it to the point where he would try to argue with these people to get his son out of that life. But the life was so attractive to these young kids growing up. So like I really like the whole story behind the people that live around mafia, the mafia people that were there, and it also touches base on them taking care of their neighborhood. I mean, the iconic scene where
you can't
leave. Yeah. he locked the fucking door. They came out the back. Those bikers were like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah. You know what I mean? Even the music that was played for the scene was fucking dope, you know?
He asked them nicely to leave.
He did. But like growing up in Brooklyn, that's how our neighborhood was. It like it legit had that feel of like, there's the club, there's this, there's that. You don't fuck with these people, they don't fuck with you. They take care of the neighbor. And we had grown up in that aspect of that time period.
You know, like you just reminded me, like, you know what's a really good fucking mob movie? Legends.
Oh, yeah.
With Tom Hardy.
The twins.
That's a fucking good movie.
Across the pond. All right.
That's a good.
And shout out to Tom Hardy.
I came here for a fucking proper shootout. Like, when that happens, like, bro.
He was wild.
Tom Hardy is hands down one of my like all-time favorite actors.
Yeah. That movie Bronson?
Yeah.
Holy shit,
dude. Bronson,
Holy
he did good.
Holy shit.
Tom Hardy in the movie Bronson as portraying Charles Bronson, Britain's most violent criminal.
That guy was
oh my God.
Oh shit. All right. Segue from violent criminals into more violent criminals. I think we jump right into Westerns.
Okay.
Oh, dude, that's you're in my world now. I'm not even joking. You're in my world now. You guys go first. All
right, cool. So
spaghetti Western joke?
I can't even fight that stereotype. It is what it is.
Listen,
goddamn.
We're gonna have to explain to people why they call it spaghetti Western.
They were filmed in Italy.
A lot of them were filmed in Italy, and people didn't know.
Here's the thing: it's not even just that. A lot of them were filmed in Italy, but a lot of them were filmed in Spain, and it's because they got a lot of like cheap Italian actors and gypsies and stuff to be in it. So if you watch the older movies, they're all overdubbed because those guys didn't even speak English. It's just that.
Shit.
One of the greatest westerns of all time is a spaghetti western, in my opinion. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
That's. I mean, you might as well do that.
Take it away.
That's mine for sure.
You want me to start?
Go for it. Yes, sir.
All right. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. I have 3 that just sit on a pillar. But I mean, if I'm have to pick one, if I have to pick, like, all right, then I have to watch this western forever, and it just personifies the whole genre. I'm gonna go with Unforgiven, and the reason I'm gonna go with it is just Clint Eastwood. Like he played in The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. He played in all these other Fistful of Dollars, all these great westerns. And in this movie, he's just playing this old, grizzled gunfighter at Bill Money.
He was old and grizzled for a long while.
Exactly.
That man's been old and grizzled from day one.
Fun fact, he had this script, and he actually sat on this script for almost 10 years because before he directed it, because Clint Eastwood directed it as well, he said, I'm not old and grizzled enough yet. I'm not going to make this movie yet. He waited. He waited till him and Gene Hackman and Morgan Freeman got older, and then he made this movie. And it was just fantastic because you see him as like this older guy who's got kids, and like the bad part of him is behind him. Like, I don't do that no more.
but then he needs money.
Yeah.
Like shit's happening on the farm. So he goes back into this life, and you just watch him deteriorate back into this fucking monster that he used to be. And by the end, the final, I'm not going to ruin anything for anyone that hasn't seen it, but the final scene in the bar where he fully reverts into who he used to be is one of the hardest shits I've ever seen in cinema. I mean, it's just real, grimy.
He was up on his fiber.
Yes.
So that's like Gran Torino.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. That's like
it was that, like super grumpy. Like,
Gran Torino was great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
All right.
Minus all the obvious race. It's not even
subtle,
covert, subtle racism. It's just
I'm gonna throw you guys off
straight up racist
with my Western pick. I think it's great, especially for
Cowboys?
my generation. No, that's true. This is better. I'm talking Will Smith, Wild West.
Oh my
no,
God.
fuck you. No. I'm just kidding. I'm totally fucking. That's just a joke. No, seriously.
I hope you.
I'm going straight.
Are you
it's a great movie. Just the story behind that with Kevin Smith and stuff working on it, like it's great.
oh yeah.
Oh no, it's definitely not Wild West. It's for me, it's Tombstone.
Okay. All right.
That's a
and
great fucking
I love that
All
movie, and I think for me personally, Val Kilmer in Tombstone
That was
is
his
what,
best.
Yeah, that was his best role. I think he killed it. He was
in Alexander.
yeah.
I mean, with Colin Farrell, he played.
Please don't bring up Alexander. I have flashbacks, bro.
Your favorite movie?
PTSD. No, Val Kilmer's role with the cup scene.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. Like back in the day, like that's the insult right there.
I think,
He's like, I'll fuck
I
you
think
up.
that was like impromptu. It was like Val Kilmer saying like, "No, I'm not going to use a gun," because he was supposed to use a gun, and he just decided to use the cup instead.
Even better.
He was like, "What do you got to tell Val Kilmer?" And I was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. And you know what? He dove right into that role. He played sick and dying.
He was Doc Holliday, right?
Doc Holliday, yeah. You know,
They went
I'm
actually
your
deep on that
Huckleberry.
one.
Yep.
Like there, if you watch the documentaries and stuff behind it, they went in with the history, like they did the full research on how the characters were and who they were and stuff like that.
So it's an actual real depiction.
Yeah, no,
of those
everything,
characters.
like pretty much everything in there is pretty much on point.
Yeah, those were real people. It's
No, I know they were real people, but
No,
they're
but the
gonna take
storyline,
liberties.
the storyline and how everything happened is pretty much on point. So like the guys that came in with like the red sashes and
The
stuff
Cowboys.
like that, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. I love the movie from beginning to end. I think it pulled me in. A lot of the characters were really deep. They all had their own little personal stories going on. And then, but at the end of the day, it was Doc Holliday, the cup scene, and then when he came to defend his boy, because he knew he wasn't gonna fuck up that gunslinger.
Yeah.
At the end, I was like, that's a friend willing to put his life on the line like that. He was sick, coughing, and still knew, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
The guy knows he's dying. He can barely stand up, and he's still fucking afraid.
I'm literally seconds from death, and I'm still gonna fuck
and
you
the
up.
guy-
He's like, and I whoop that ass at poker.
Goddamn right. He's like, I'm your Huckleberry.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah, so Tombstone for me,
Yeah.
100.
That's a great fucking movie. You go.
All right, who's next? All right, Ed, you're
Yeah, see, I would have picked Tombstone. You already took it, so
You're welcome.
for me, number 2, I gotta go with Young Guns.
okay. All right.
Nice.
Yes.
Emilio
Not bad.
Estevez. All right.
Oh yeah,
Amelia.
fantastic.
Yo, and Lou Diamond Phillips, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
killed it in that movie.
Fantastic movie, and
Yeah. Nobody better with long
soundtrack
hair.
to go with it too. Come on, you hear that song on the radio, you're leaving it on.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those movies where if you pass it by, you're like,
You leave it on.
I gotta watch
You're
it.
flipping through the channels. I'm gonna finish this. It doesn't even matter where it's from. Halfway through, fuck it, I'm watching this.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's a good pick.
I respect that pick.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
The soundtrack was great.
It's more of a fun western. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it was. It's no Wild Wild West.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you guys skipped over Magnificent Seven.
That's
Yeah.
another good one.
Only
That's
reason
another
I
good
haven't
one.
seen it.
I'm a
You haven't seen it?
I'm
So you
a
know the storyline, right? I'm not trying to cut you off.
No, I
Sorry.
know.
You're good.
Yeah, I know.
But
in
you know it's
general.
like the ripoff of Akira Kurosawa.
That's why I
Yeah,
wouldn't mention
the
it.
Seven-
That's
Seven
why I wasn't going to
Samurai.
mention
But
it.
they've done it. They've ripped that story off so many times.
many times.
So
Yes.
you can't even say it.
Yeah, what's the one that Adam Sandler did?
Which one?
I don't know if Adam
wasn't
Sandler ripped the...
He did
No,
a
you're
Western.
thinking,
He
you're not
did a
thinking,
Western.
that's not Adam Sandler. You're thinking of Seth MacFarlane, like 1,000 Ways to Die in the West.
Yes, okay.
Oh
all right,
no,
all
but
right.
no, Adam Sandler did do a western.
he?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like the
it's on Netflix.
Disrespectful 8 or something like that. Like,
Yeah, he had Wolf Boy from Twilight in there as
Yeah,
well.
yes. I mean, if you're gonna make a shitty movie, then you got to throw a shitty actor in there. That's what I love about Adam Sandler. He doesn't care.
You could throw Hateful Eight into that too.
Yeah, Hateful Eight.
Dude, I hate it.
You hate that movie?
I hate the Hateful Eight.
First of all, listen. I love Quentin Tarantino. I think his movies they're always out there. He's a very eccentric person. Fucking Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill. I mean, Pulp Fiction is one of my favorite films of all time. But the Hateful Eight, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, I guess he watched Django that week and decided that he was going to make another movie.
Why don't you like it?
Oh, dude. All right, first of all, I understand he loves, like, Inglourious Basterds and shit. Right. I understand he loves the long, dramatic, tense pause. But the whole fucking 3.5-hour movie was one drawn-out, fucking, like, tense pilot.
Don't ever watch Jackie Brown then.
Oh, dude, that's the one I haven't seen. I haven't seen Jackie Brown. There's
movie.
Another one I haven't seen. Well, actually, I saw pieces of Jackie Brown. It was so weird. Like, it was like, okay, we're in a cabin. We're trying to figure out who the main bad dude is. At one point, some guy is sucking Samuel L. Jackson's dick. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
And then Channing Tatum comes out from, like, the floorboards.
Yeah, the movie was so fucking long that, like, my girlfriend, like, fell asleep and left the theater, like, twice to make phone calls. Still came back and, like, it's still fucking
You know what's funny about that movie? Like, you remember the scene where Kurt Russell smashes the guitar?
Yes.
Well, you know that's like a priceless guitar.
Oh, really?
I did not know that.
So yeah, that's some funny stuff. Like, so Martin is a guitar company that's been around forever.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Quentin Tarantino always loves having things super authentic. So Martin lent him this guitar.
Oh no!
Specifically for the scene with their like, nobody is allowed to do anything with this guitar except for this scene, and then you hand it right back to our handler, and that's it. They're like, yeah, no problem. It's like,
wow.
So they had the guitar, and then they had the stunt guitar. So
oh god,
the girl's playing the guitar.
Oh my god.
And then Kurt Russell goes into his scene, grabs the guitar, and just starts smashing it. So when you see the girl screaming in panic, that's why she's screaming. It's 100%. She's like, motherfucker, we didn't change the guitar. She smashed it. Dude, he smashed the guitar, and like everybody that you hear talking about it and like seeing, the entire set was just jaws dropped. Like, what are you doing? He's like, he had no clue. Yeah, I'll help you out.
Oh god. Oh god.
So it was like,
I gotta finish that one.
So he like, it was 100% legit, like, panic where he destroyed a priceless historical heirloom.
Jesus.
But that would do it. That would make me mad too. Fuck that shit.
So yeah, no, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. But my pick is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Ooh.
So it's like, that movie means so much to me. Like, every time it's on, I'll watch it. Like, I have fucking 5 different copies of it. There's a couple of scenes that people have never seen. They got cut out and stuff like that. You have to watch it, where they didn't even like really overdub it. They just put it back on. But everything about that movie.
Was that, I might be mistaken. I'm not, like, I mean, I know a little bit about films, but like, was that the first like Mexican standoff in film? Like, it's the most famous, by far the most famous in the graveyard. But
it's the most famous, but I don't believe it's the first one. Because again, the thing with this, it's called spaghetti westerns, but it was actually at the tail end of the popularity of spaghetti westerns. They did one, and then Clint Eastwood was like, "Oh shit, I could do this myself. I could make so much money doing this." So he started making them, and that's why there's like so many. Like, you have Outlaw Josie Wales,
Fistful of Dollars.
So it goes for a few dollars more, and a fistful of dollars. They are technically separate from each other.
Holy shit.
It's not a continuation. That's why you have the same actors in it. So it's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is its own standalone thing with all these other storylines.
It's so good,
but
too.
it's so many of the same characters. So that's why it's easy to confuse. But that's why you have like the same bad characters in a fistful of, or for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is in for a fistful of dollars or a few dollars more, whichever one. So it's like, but dude, you have Ennio Morricone doing the music, which he's like a composer kind of known for being really out there and stuff. And
it's called like The Legacy of Gold. That like,
yeah.
And then
Oh, fleece? It's a fleece of gold. I'm pretty sure it's a fleece of gold.
Yeah, it's so good.
And Metallica uses it for the intro of like all their concerts.
Yeah, it's so good.
So dude, like every time it goes on, I'm like, oh.
Just sets the tone.
And like, so you have Lee Van Cleef, who was also ends up being a ninja in another movie, because that makes sense.
Sure.
Who's missing a finger, by the way. He's missing like a fingertip. The guy that played, oh my gosh, what is his name? Is it Toko? Not Toko. The rat, whatever. Like he's
Splinter.
a bunch of dude. Like he was in a bunch of movies.
Hey, listen, I'm on.
But dude, that movie is so good, and you have to watch it because it goes so far. It hits so many different things. It's like 3 hours, so most people aren't gonna watch that.
Okay, all right, I like that.
Yeah, most of them I haven't watched.
Yeah.
Dude.
I never jumped in the rabbit hole of the spaghetti
spaghetti western.
You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it.
If you can sit through a fucking Hateful Eight, you can sit through fucking Good, Bad, the Ugly.
100%. I would say, it's called the No Man trilogy or the No Name Man trilogy because he doesn't actually have a name. Like Clint Eastwood's character doesn't have a name. You'll never hear it. The closest that they do is they call him Manco.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Just traveling around with a poncho and beating ass.
I would say if you really want to watch it, the good one is I always get the names all mixed up. For a few dollars more.
Yeah.
Like watch that one because it's not as long, but it's really good. Like
never heard of
that.
that. Never heard of
You never watched them?
No, there's a couple of movies.
See, I've heard of A Fistful of Dollars, but the first two that you mentioned,
that's
a few dollars and a few dollars more. I never heard
It's
of.
for a few dollars more. It's a fistful of dollars for a few dollars more, and the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Interesting.
So, like, I'm pretty sure that's the order. So, dude, just watch one of the first two, but the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like, sit down and just fucking watch it. And it's like a couple of parts a little heavy, but there's so many awesome one-liners for. I want to say it's for A Fistful of Dollars. He's coming into town, and as he's coming in, he sees this guy walking past him, and he like nods his head, and the guy's just slumped over, and he's dead. They put him on the horse, and they just fucking let him go. He's like,
that sounds like a wild party,
dude. Yeah. So he's like, and he's just coming into town or whatever, and then he sees this kid run out of this one house, which is super strange. It's just one house here, one house here. Kid runs out of the house, goes running. He's like, mommy. They're holding his mom hostage across the way, and like they separated the husband and wife because the main bad guy in the town is obsessed with a wife. So he's just like, until she's gonna marry me and love me, I'm just gonna keep her there. Damn. He walks in and they start shooting at him to scare his donkey, and he takes off, and he just whole other stuff comes back. He's like, I came here about my donkey. He's like,
as any man should.
Yeah. And he's just laughing. He's like, you see, that's not nice, you laughing. He's going to get the crazy idea that you're laughing at him. Like, now, if you apologize, like I know you're going to. And they're like, you got 3 seconds, dude. And there's like 8 guys standing out there. And he's just sitting there, and they all start pulling their guns out. He's like, brah.
Kills
all of them. Like, one shot just going there. Everyone's like dead. He's like, I saw it. You killed them all. And then he's like, points the gun at the guy. He's like, who the fuck are you?
Who'd you see?
Yeah, he's like, I'm the sheriff. He's like, well, you got 6 dead men. You got to go take care of them. It's like, oh.
And what's that movie again?
That one is A Fistful of Dollars.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
So yeah, just watch the first 2. They're so good.
All right.
Shout out to Clint Eastwood for being in 2 of our 4 picks, you know?
Dude.
Listen, when you're good, you're good. You know?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
He's
Al
fucked up.
Pacino too, right?
Al
Because he's
Pacino.
in Godfather.
Scarface.
And he's in Scarface.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so let's dive right into the next genre, and I think this is a good one. We'll go into epics. For epics, it's like larger than life movies.
Man.
It doesn't have to be
Scale.
like
Any
2,
specific
3
genre,
like separated
Like
ones.
scale.
No, like if you pick like from something from Star Wars, like which one of the Star Wars
All right,
series?
so you,
or
could,
which
you
one
couldn't
of
do the
Lord of
entire
Rings?
thing as a...
No, because some of them carry more weight than others, I think.
There's only one movie that's been more epic than every other movie.
What would that be?
SpongeBob
Are you saying you're going to start out? Are you saying...
Yeah, I'm gonna start out because I'm pretty sure Nelson's gonna try to take this shit off.
Okay, well, all right. Well, then,
Listen, I went by his list.
Listen, I had to write a couple of stats here.
Here's what's bullshit. I was just told that we were going to talk about movies. You guys all had fucking time on making decisions. I'm just throwing that out there.
That's because Nelson likes to throw shit out the window.
I would like to point out I have no list either, sir.
Sorry.
No, I had it because I had to write a couple of little things down here. So it's the culmination of 24 movies, 11 TV shows, and is one of 58 films from Marvel.
You bastard!
Endgame.
It isn't epic. It isn't epic.
Can you get more epic than culminating the pinnacle of 24 films before it?
Lord of the Rings.
One of 3.
I don't know that.
So
one of 24.
So hold on.
One of 3.
You're talking about epic in the amount of time it took to tell the entire storyline.
Yeah, that's
scale. I'm looking at it like storyline altogether. So,
there's different ways to judge epic.
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it.
Endgame's definitely an epic. That scene with the portals opening up, that's
on your left.
Yes.
I got chills in the movie theaters. I was like, it's going down.
Cap is wielding the hammer and the shield at the same time.
When that shit happened, I was just showered in candy and popcorn. Like the fucking theater exploded. I was like, holy shit. I was like...
Those movies were good. But I mean, even the build-up to those movies coming out was just so epic where everyone's like, I need to fucking watch this.
Yeah. And the movie before it, you have to give credit where credit is due.
Infinity War.
Infinity Wars, where it silenced the fucking movie theaters.
And then they left it like that.
Left everybody with like, I need to see what the fuck is going to happen, how it's going to play out in the final
That one
movie.
scared me. That one scared me because I'm watching people disappear, and I was like, I remember just thinking in my head, please don't be Black Panther. Please don't fucking be Black Panther.
By the way, which is the best 1-2 punch of all time is that sequence where he's like, and then everything goes. And then the next movie, him just fucking cooking eggs and someone just drops shit up.
Fucking him up, dude.
Yeah.
At that point, I could not take the movie seriously anymore. I was like, you just threw all your shit out in the first go, dude. Because you just drop kick Thanos while cooking eggs at breakfast.
That's goddamn right.
They cut his fucking hand off. Like,
But
so
historically, Thanos is a farmer. It is one of the things that is in his description
he
character.
likes to grow things.
And that is what he said he wanted to do when he was done. Just settle down and run his farm.
It's what makes him so dangerous is that there was a level of, he's not just a villain. He believes that what he's doing wholeheartedly is right.
Well, at the end of the day, if you look at it, it's Thanos was a serial killer.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a serial killer with a intent, with a vision that was willing to do whatever to achieve his vision. So, like, at the end of the day, that is a serial killer.
Oh, yeah.
And what he did, I mean, yes, he did ensure that, like, those civilizations would go on indefinitely more by cutting down the resources. But you did it in kind of a fucked up way.
You could just snap and double the resources. Kill everybody, or just, here, have more.
No, you can't. The reason being is you don't learn your lesson. No,
I agree.
No,
I agree. Yes.
You don't learn the lesson of the preciousness of life and what you have if you're just given more.
Correct.
That's what his lesson was supposed to be.
And he was the teacher, and he was adamant on that. I'm gonna show everybody it's my way or no way at all.
But he did kind of like say, you know, that he did get some enjoyment from it. He did in Endgame.
But that comes down to the real.
He said this does bring a smile to my face.
He's enjoying it.
That's like he was actually OCD.
Finishing a successful plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was
It's like
OCD
euthanizing your dog because you have to, and being like, I don't normally take joy in the.
He's like, I'm gonna bring everything back to balance. It's like everything is odd. I need it to be even. All right, I need 4 of these. There's way too many.
Word.
So he's a great and powerful child with OCD.
Yeah.
So my question is this: the collector had one of everything. Did they all die, or did half of his collection die? Well, since they're the last, I would assume that they would stay alive, and his collection wouldn't have been.
Oh yeah, if the collector lived through that, he was pissed.
Yeah.
Well, the idea was
it
should have been. It was supposed to be random. I don't know if he particularly mentioned like, well, it would be half of this race, half of this race,
but the collector
half
collects
of this.
the last of something.
Yeah.
Unique items. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and no, that's why he still has one of everything, because there were still multiple universes.
Right.
So he's like, that's the last. That means all the other ones in the other universes are dead. He's got the last ones.
All right. So Alex, what's your pick for an epic then?
Man, I honestly I don't even know because I don't look at stuff that way. As far as like,
you can look at it for the scale, or you could look at it for that movie was an epic all on its own.
Yeah, there's different ways to take it.
Man, there's a couple of movies where I'm like, that's just on its own is an epic to it. Fuck, I would have to go with The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Like that to me, because everything, not only just in the movie, the build up to the movie, how I saw the movie, the way that everything was just played out into it, like that movie to me is, if you just had a standalone movie out of that whole series, that's the one.
Yeah.
That everything to me in that movie, minus Batman's voice, is perfect. Right?
He is the best Batman, if you ask me.
Yeah.
To me, if you would have had, like, the only way you could make it better is if Heath Ledger had Mark Hamill's voice as the Joker, like, and what's his face from Batman the Animated Series, Bruce, right? Or is it Bruce or something like that? Like doing the voice for Batman.
Yes,
that's the only way you could have it any better.
They used him in the DC live action to play Old Man Batman.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So he's the voice from the animated
I
Batman
can't
series.
say that I disagree with it. It was a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
and,
it's definitely an epic.
And Heath Ledger delivered on like the Joker everybody wanted to see on the big screen. Not any knock to Jack Nicholson's Joker, because Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton, they delivered for their
but I'm
in
not
a
a fan
different
of
way.
Tim Burton.
You
Tim
know,
Burton.
they did it in a different way.
I feel like Jack Nicholson did it like by the book Joker.
Yeah.
Like, but Heath reinvented it. Like he went off what he was given, but he completely reinvented the role. And I think the way he portrayed the Joker, that's, for me personally, I'd say top 3 best villains.
Yeah.
At least top 3.
I think outside of, if you want to get away from the over cartoony Joker, like where you're really trying to depict the evilness and the intent of the character, it's Heath Ledger's setup.
Yeah.
Because the way that, even when he was like burning the money, he's like, it's not about the money. It's about the chaos.
Yeah. Well, even in the first opening scene when they're ziplining into the bank and they get into the bank.
I love that scene.
And he
kills his whole team.
He convinced them all to kill.
Everybody.
And he's there, though. It's not like he's not there. So there's a chance that he could get shot in the mix, but he knows that he's fucking clever enough and psycho enough that he's going to survive.
He was just constantly telling people to shoot each other. Like,
Yeah.
do this, shoot.
It's like it's like he told everyone, it was like, when you're done with it, you kill him. So he had it all planned out anyway. The only, like, that's what kills me is the other one with was it The Dark Knight Returns, whatever, the one with Bane.
Yeah.
Like the intro with like Bane when they catch him and stuff. That one I fucking love too. Like just that intro part alone, it's like, man.
I liked it, but like I was telling these guys, the first time I saw it in the theater, I fucking couldn't understand a word that was being said. Like what you said about hating Batman's voice from the second one.
Yeah.
This was like you got fucking Christian Bale with cotton up his nose, like.
How's that any different than Marlon Brando with cotton in his mouth?
This is true.
But I would take Marlon Brando read me a bedtime story any day.
Dude,
than Tom Hardy with the gas mask.
What happens if I take the mask off? It would be quite painful.
Yeah, for you. Exactly. And you would understand what the fuck I'm saying. Like, please just take it off for a little. Like, just
can't.
come on.
Oh, man.
It's like
They originally intended to jump off their DC universe with that trilogy, and then it just took them so long to get the next couple of films going that they basically went and
They
reset
leave,
everything.
at the end of Dark Knight Rises, they leave you with the whole Nightwing thing. They tease it. They tease that, okay, but then nothing ever happens.
who we are doesn't matter. What matters is our plan.
I wouldn't have liked him as Nightwing. I don't think I liked the character.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see him.
He's a little small for the role, but I think he could
athletic
portray
enough.
the character.
Like
He's good.
Titans,
He's a
the
good
show on HBO.
Yeah.
I'm almost done with season
plays
1.
a good fucking
I'm almost
Nightwing.
done with season 1.
That's
That's
a good show. Yeah.
Yeah,
know what's funny?
I haven't started the new season yet.
What's his face that plays Commissioner Gordon?
He played Dracula. Oh my god.
Is it Ben Owen? Not Ben.
In Dark Knight?
Yeah.
It's
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, he's fucking.
Drawing a blank.
Yeah, the one that I like.
Oh, he's a fantastic actor.
Gary Owen.
Gary
All right. Gary Owen was playing that character and other English, like American characters for so long that he lost his British accent. I'm serious. You never know that?
That is great.
Dude,
No,
he lost his British accent, and he had to get like a therapist to help him get his British accent back.
Talk about getting into your roles.
Yeah.
I've only ever heard of that 2 other times. I know Al Pacino in Scarface, he had to go to a speech therapist to get after
the Cuban.
Yeah, he had to get that out of there.
But he
kept
did
it.
He did because he did it after Serpico. Yeah. He was doing another movie where like
he needed the accent.
Oh man,
yeah,
something. Yeah, he did another movie where he was oh my god, he was in it with the guy from Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, he played Bullseye.
Yeah, Colin Farrell. Amazing actor. How dare you forget his name?
It's not gonna get old.
Carlito's Way. Yes, he was in Carlito's Way.
Carlito wants his hand
Benny
back.
from the Bronx. Fuck. How did I not think about that for gangster movies, bro?
Yeah, and Aragorn was in a wheelchair. Remember?
Yeah. Yes.
Aragorn was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, bro. Damn it.
I wear diapers, man. I shit my pants.
Speaking of which,
like, was great in that movie.
He was scary in that movie.
Yeah.
Not the guy that played Sauron. Not is it Sauron? The other White Wizard, the one that
Saruman. Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
He legitimately killed people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Special Forces.
Yeah, he was.
British Special Forces.
Dude, you didn't know that?
No,
So check this out, dude. I'm telling you.
Are you talking about the stab in the back interview?
Dude, I have.
Ooh, yeah, it's
I
good.
have way too much useless information.
No, this is good. This is good.
So like,
Christopher Lee is legit.
So when they were filming that scene, and Peter Jackson was telling him like, you need to do like this and do this for this. He's like, that's not what dying people sound like.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I've actually killed someone. Have you killed someone? He's like, no. He's like, well, I have. That's not what they do.
God damn, that's like step to the side, little man. Let me show you.
And it was very specific where he was talking about stabbing someone in the back into their lungs. Like, no, that's not what they sound like.
Yeah.
This is what they sound like.
That's spooky.
He would listen to like, there's like a documentary that talks about him. Like, dude, listen to his story of his life. It's fucking bonkers.
Let me ask you. You think that after he showed him how to kill somebody properly, that he went back to his trailer and he had like, trays and arrays, like here's a ray, like, hey, listen, we really don't kill anybody here.
He was. I think Christopher Lee was a member of it was like a special forces British team that was. They infiltrated Germany and they infiltrated Europe, and their job was to take out certain officers that were actually in country.
So he was like,
Christopher Lee. Yeah,
there's theories that some of what he did is what they based some of the 007 stories on.
So and that one,
that one's badass motherfucker.
If you want another guy that has crazy fucking story of his life, they did I want to say it was either a Hulu documentary or a Netflix documentary. It was the guy that he was one of the James Bonds.
Sean Connery?
No, not Sean Connery. It was
slaps women though.
Tim Doyle.
Yeah, I think it was Tim Doyle.
We don't condone that. We don't condone that. That was an interview.
Timothy Dalton, dude. Go look up the story of Timothy Dalton, like the documentary they did on him, and it's almost heartbreaking. It's like, dude, this guy was the quintessential playboy lifestyle, like just dream story. And it ends with the biggest fucking heartbreak where you can tell it's like, dude, this guy lived every man's dream. Damn. And then it ends up where he's like, I lost the love of my life just because I got so greedy. Like, dude, it's nuts. It's so worth it, though. It's like, it's such a roller coaster. You're like, fuck yeah, get some. I feel you, bro.
Yeah. Look, it happens to the best of us.
All right, sorry.
Ian, what is your epic?
All right, well, epic. Okay, well, since we're gonna disqualify Alexander, that was up there.
Trash.
Greatest movie of all time.
But it's got Colin Farrell.
Alexander's great. Yeah.
Way better than Schindler's List.
Absolutely. Oh man, Schindler's List. There's a good one.
I'm sad for myself that I was
That's fucked up.
Why did I tell you guys
Schindler's List.
that I seen Alexander?
Romantic comedies. Yeah, there you go. No,
hold on.
What is happening?
Hey, total step back. I'm surprised that as far as war movies, nobody said Enemy at the Gates.
I don't think I've seen that.
We were just talking about sniper scenes. They were talking about they were watching Watch Mojo and top 10 best sniper scenes. I was like, I fucking know what number one is.
Yeah,
Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah, Vasily Zaitsev.
I thought it was honestly going to be the sniper from Saving Private Ryan,
which was number 3.
But I never seen Enemy at the
See, the
Gates.
problem with that movie is that it got turned into a meme so bad that it's like, I can't take it that serious.
Shooting people falling at grocery stores and shit. Yeah.
That is hilarious.
I think when I think of epic, I like almost put the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies in their own category.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna go with one of them.
Okay.
And if I had to pick one of them just to represent scale, it would probably be Return of the King, and I think it would edge out Battle of the Five Armies by a little bit. By a little bit.
Which one? Return of the King was the second one.
Return of the King was the third in the Lord of the Rings one.
Yeah, Two Towers is the second one.
Two Towers is the second one, which is a good movie. Fucking horrible book. One of the worst books I've ever read in my life. And listen, I read the fucking Lord of the Rings before. I read that shit in elementary school before I saw the movies.
Well, it took him a lot of no's before someone finally printed his books.
Well,
because nobody wanted to print his books.
They definitely had to shave some shit off the first one and the third one to move into the second. Because I'll tell you right, the Two Towers is walk, walk, walk. Frodo fell down. Walk, walk, walk. Sam built a fire. Yeah. Fucking 1,000 pages of this shit. Like... Yeah, don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself.
That's the argument I always had. As much as I enjoy the movies, is like the very beginning they get onto those fucking birds. It's like,
why didn't you
just take the birds all the way to the mountain?
Fly over the mountain.
We just saved 10 years worth of hard work and production if you just take it right in there.
They could have lied to Frodo. They could be like, "Hey, we're just going to scout out the area," and then chuck his ass into the mountain, with the ring, ensure that it's done. One Hobbit. That's it.
The Hobbit movies.
I had seen a thing where someone pieced together where he's saying he can't throw the ring in for him, but I could throw you, and then he throws Frodo into the lava.
Fuck yeah. I mean, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I'm sorry, right. But,
But then you don't know Ricardo Montalban, but you can quote him.
Well, that's a Spock line. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Same movie.
That's fair.
Same movie.
Yeah, rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. So yeah, I'm going with Return of the King. Just the battle scales.
Okay, I agree.
I mean, it's got the real. There's two charges of the Rohirrim, the people of Rohan, in the whole series.
You fools!
Right. Exactly. Well, we all know that Gandalf just told everybody to leave so he'd get the fucking experience points from beating the Balrog.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
And then he shows up in the next movie.
Leveling up without us?
Exactly.
You shall not pass.
So he goes as Gandalf the Grey. He beats the Balrog, gets all the experience. Then he comes back as Gandalf the White, shiny new equipment.
Dude, that's like another one of those things that I went into. Like,
so you kept the party money, sir. I see what you did.
Dick, you went to the shop without us.
He comes in with new threats. It's like, did you get new armor?
No, man. He's got the level 10 spells. You fucking dick.
I still got my little chainmail that I got on level 1.
Gimli's still using the wood axe. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, like,
help us out.
I did get into like a rabbit hole on that one too, where like you learn about the Balrog and why it was such a serious thing that he fought the Balrog, where it was like considered like one of the I guess most dangerous creatures you could fight.
A being made of like flame and shadow.
And there's like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's actually like 3 or 4 of them. They're supposed to be like gods on Earth kind of thing.
Nice. And so for him to defeat it is
If you go down the Tolkien mythology, like if you read like the Sumerian and all those other books and shit, and actually get into the origin, J.R.R. Tolkien was out there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a fucking genius. Like,
it was worse than that. Well, you read the guy from Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, Lovecraft. H.P.
Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Dude, H.P. Lovecraft is
he's sick.
Out there. Well, it's not even that, because first of all, the guy was a massive racist.
Oh my god!
That's the thing that like
yes,
people don't realize. The dude was a massive racist and like still lived with his mom. He was freaking horrible, but he created the book, and then his other friends, which I guess they must have been all cool with all that racism, started creating more.
The shitty friends that Nelson was talking about that don't correct you when they fucking. Yeah. Hey man, you might want to dial it back with the hate.
Like, they're like, no, we're all in.
No, dude,
no man, it's Cthulhu. It's Cthulhu. We're all hate.
They got all in, man. But sorry. All right, what's next?
No, that's awesome.
Since we're talking about that, the creator of Conan the Barbarian, Robert Jordan, he was also a really big fucking racist.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I hate to put it out there,
supposedly Walt Disney as well. I mean, it's not a big surprise.
Walt Disney wanted Hitler to win.
Go back 50 years and everybody was racist.
Listen, you guys take it back. I love my Disney. I love Disney more than most people.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I will watch the Walt Disney documentary. Dude, this is gonna sound so fucking bad.
Say it.
Worse than Alexander?
No, I will watch. I'll take the positives out of it. All right, I'm just taking the positive out of it.
Sure.
Precursor.
God, this is gonna
I will watch the Walt Disney documentary from PBS for inspiration to get you out of a fucking laziness. Like, and it sounds bad. Forget like
no, he was a creator.
No, dude, the grind that guy put in to get everything where he was at, is absolutely freaking nuts. And if you watch it, and if it doesn't make you feel like a lazy piece of shit, I don't know what to tell you.
Some of those behind the scenes documentaries that they do it, just how they even got like Disney World and Disneyland built. It's insane the amount of work he was trying to do on top of all the movies and everything else that was going on.
Well, it's literally having everybody under the sun against you, and he just like, this is gonna be it. Like, watch it. It's the PBS one. It's like, it's a 2-parter. Don't watch any of the other ones. They're trash. But it's like, but here's the thing. It gets into even that part where it gets into like where people are accusing him for. Dude, that guy he was obsessive on revenge. Hard. Dude, so here's the thing.
Fueled by hate?
Yeah. 100%. Dude, that guy was 100% fueled by hate. So he created like the Disney studios in California, right? Where it was like a dream job to be at. Ping pong tables, all you can eat, like a cafeteria. You could come in, you could come spend the night. There was like a hotel and stuff. It was the best place on earth to sit there and work at. Everybody loved it. One of the guys that came up with him, that literally he brought with him to do the animation from like the very first drawing, turned against them and wanted to unionize. As a capitalist, you're definitely against unions.
Yeah.
So like he was so pissed off at the fact that this guy wanted to unionize and did all this stuff, caused him a whole bunch of hassles, created a whole bunch of shitstorm. 10 years after that event,
That's a special kind of hate.
Dude, like, I used to be that bad. 10 years after that event, he found his opportunity to accuse them of being communists.
Wow.
And went into a full-on court case where Walt Disney came up and started stating all the things that they did, which obviously the Cold War and everything was going on where like
prime opportunity.
Right, dude.
Yeah.
He went to fucking town. Damn. Like lists of people, like they did this, and this. Like they're all communists, where it got people blacklisted.
This was in the documentary?
Yeah, this is all in the documentary, dude. It's not. It's worth watching.
PBS was like, we're not holding anything back.
So like, so like the whole thing, like they're talking about, like where he made that Nazi cartoon and this that with Donald Duck's being a Nazi. That's nothing.
Wow. All right,
nothing.
Sounds interesting. I'll definitely check it out. And I like a good behind the scenes documentary stuff. I love all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
What about you, Nelson?
Yeah,
I mean,
what's
what's your epic?
All right,
choice?
so
Debbie Does
it's shit.
Great
Well, I got
production
nothing
on that one.
Yeah, no,
She
for me,
took one for the team. Baby.
She did.
For me, it was a toss
Took a
up
couple.
between two of my favorite movies, I think, of all time. And it's between Braveheart and Gladiator.
Okay.
I was gonna say Gladiator.
Yeah, as far as epics are concerned, both of them sit like right there, like tied for number one for me, because the length didn't matter. Like, you were sucked into the movie and you loved it. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with Gladiator.
So
and
you're gonna go with Maximus Decimus Meridius over
Yeah,
William Wallace. All right.
I have to, and it was because both the villain and the hero like sold me. Like Joaquin Phoenix, he delivered a fantastic performance. Like, he was such a sick fuck. You know, when he had the kid and he calls her in, and it's his sister and he's in love with her, which is another fucking sick thing. But he's got the kid there and he's subtly threatening her, like, what would the little bee do?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh fuck, you fucked up. You know? Like,
So you're gonna go fantasy over like truth?
yeah.
Because Braveheart's a true story.
And Mel Gibson was great, and it was.
However,
based on a
historians
true
in England
story.
will say that you are.
Yeah. But yeah, I would go with fantasy. I think it was the overall delivery at the end of the day, the scale of the movie, the delivery from Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix, even the lady, I don't know her name, the actress that played the sister.
Shout out to Jaimon Hansu. Also, you know, We Will Meet Again.
Yes, yeah. There was a lot of great scenes and takeaways from that movie.
Epic.
Yeah,
for sure.
and even like, you know, the fact that he died, but you know, it was kind of like a happy ending that he died.
Yeah.
Like he
was with his
served
family
his
again.
fucking purpose.
It's his family again, you know?
Touching the grass. I still do that to the day when I see high grass. I'm like, yes.
The fields of Elysium.
Yeah. I'm not going, but this is nice.
I wonder if this will give me a hand.
It was a great movie.
That movie's
Both of those are good picks.
Definitely love that movie. So good. I mean, but it's got a little bit of historical aspect to it when talking about the Colosseum and slavery and stuff like that to it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's like factually wrong.
Sure.
But man, that's such a good fucking movie.
Yeah, I mean, even when they had to bring out the guy out of retirement to fight him, I was like, man, they're fucking reaching deep in the pockets. They're like, you were retired, you were undefeated. He's like, fuck,
the legendary Tigress Agor. Retired undefeated.
But it's cool. Like they definitely put in the realism to it. Like the first one when he goes into the first battle and then the dude like pisses himself and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The tiger's coming out. I remember when that scene came out, everyone's like, oh my God, do you see how that tiger was going after Russell Crowe? It's like, hey buddy, CGI, all right? And they were not there at the same time.
That's not Ringling Brothers. It's a different kind of
I love that opening battle with against the German tribes in Gaul. Oh my God, that was raw.
When they were gonna execute him and he's like, you forget that the cold sticks to steel and he gets
up.
That just showed like his prowess on the battlefield, you know, the general.
It's my second favorite Russell Crowe role.
Nice. What's the first one?
Alexander. No, I'd say Cinderella Man. James J. Braddock.
I never watched that.
Ooh, Cinderella Man was
All
great.
right, you got Rocky Balboa. You got The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg. All that shit. I would say Cinderella Man. I think is the best boxing movie of all time.
I think it's a amazing. Fantastic boxing
movie. Now James J. Braddock himself.
How to lose clout in one sentence.
No.
Keep going. Keep feeding me your bullshit. Keep going.
I'll feed it to you. No, James J. Braddock was a pretty cool dude. Like he fought in World War II. He helped build the Verrazano Bridge. He went through the Depression. That's where the story of him being, the whole Cinderella Man thing happened. Later in life, I could get some problems with what he did, like fucking over Joe Louis and shit. He did some fucked up shit. But the movie itself is pretty goddamn good movie.
So what you're telling me is that your favorite boxing movie is based off of the fact that the guy helped build the bridge?
Yes.
No, look, if you watch the movie, I think it's a two-part. It's the story of the boxer, but it's also
the back end.
the Great Depression and what people went through during that time. And like even like the rich people keeping up this facade that they were still rich, but when you walked into their apartment, it was like
there's nothing there.
They got nothing there. They just got their suits and
the whole
chairs
story
that
is fucking crazy because of how far he fell. Like he went from like this great contender, like where everyone was like, "Oh man, he's the Irish bulldog, the pride of Bergen, New Jersey and shit," and everyone thought he was going to be the next big thing. But when the Depression hit, he couldn't train. He ended up losing like I think it was 15 fights or some shit. Like they counted him out. He was fighting like local shows with broken hands, not getting paid. He ended up working on a dock. Like he had to get welfare. Like he was heat was getting shut off. It's such a fucking depressing story, and the fact that he fought back and won the heavyweight title from a guy who killed two people in the ring, Max Baer. I mean, Jesus Christ, the story is nuts. Like and the fact that it happened, it blew my mind.
Yeah, I definitely gotta watch it. It's like there's so many movies that I have to catch up on. As much as I watch just random ass movies, it's just.
I hear you. All right. Well, listen, fellas, I think it was a great podcast.
Are we killing it already?
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
you got someplace
you guys got something else? All right. Here we go then.
Hold on. How about we take a $5?
Let's take a break.
Because I know we all got to break the seal.
Yes.
I have piss in my lungs right now.
Like, that's really what we're trying to do.
I have a water, energy drink.
You figured me out. But yeah, I got to pee like a
I got to piss so fucking bad right now.
I'm sitting here.
Don't make me laugh.
That shit is very fascinating.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating right now. I got to piss so fucking bad.
All right, take a $5. Let's take a $5.
Eddie, pause.
I'll pick the next one. I got a question for you.
All right, let's do it.
This is the first time in history. We're pausing it to come back later.
Yeah.
I got a pee so bad.
For real.
We will return after a message from our sponsors.
It's hurting.